Fatality.
Evening, everyone. How are we all? Hope you okay. I haven't put my bloody light on. What am I doing? Let me put that on. I was wondering why that looked all oh, it's blinding me. Right, okay, that's better. I can actually see you now. Well, you can see me, maybe. Maybe that's a bad thing. Hope you're all okay. Welcome to the channel. We're gonna just do a watch along today. No racing from me. It's just gonna be doing a watch along for. It starts in like half an hour. I was gonna do some racing, but my elbow feels a bit dodgy after I forgot to put it on this morning in that stream. It feels a bit dodgy, so we'll give it a rest for the night, and we'll just do the watch along and see what's going on with this Toyota Cup. It starts in about 30 minutes. Well, the program starts, and I presume they'll go straight pretty into like quickly into the racing. I've had a little look at. I've been having a little look then to see if the archive was there for the previous races to see what form people did in the actual qualifying. So we'll have a little look at that now, just to see what kind of performances people did in the EU. We can't see. I don't know if we can see the other regions for the qualifying, but we have the EU qualifying here. So it was this one, wasn't it? So we'll have a little look at this, and you can see that Flora, obviously, Paul, obviously, he did win it. I didn't realize he actually won the Toyota, so he actually topped it. Very interesting. Baptist, though, would have been up there, but his fourth scoring round was very low, wasn't it? 308. He only got 308 on his fourth scoring round, so that probably knocked him down quite a bit in that, if you look at it. But yeah, it's very, very interesting who's going to be there and who's going to be. Oh, I don't know. I still think Baptist, like, if he would have got a good scoring round on that, he would have been up there, wouldn't he? So yeah, he just missed that one race with 308. But looking at that, it could be anyone's, couldn't it? This Toyota race, it literally could be anyone. But it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be quite an exciting watch. I think it'll be very, very close racing because they're all going to be in the same car. They're going to be driving, all Toyotas throughout the night. There won't be any other cars, obviously, but there's a mixture of tracks. I presume they're going to be racing. Did someone say they're racing on that Lake Louis track? Now, we know that Baptist is very good at that, so that should be interesting. But yeah, hopefully we'll have a fun little stream tonight watching this and seeing what goes down in this race. I think it's 3 or 4 races, is it, chat? I don't. Someone in the chat might be able to tell us 100%, but I think it's 3 or 4 races. It might even tell us actually if we go and have a little look in here. But again, thank you all for coming in. Appreciate you turning up. Get that like in there. Always helps me out. And we'll have a little look what the schedule is actually on here. We can do it up here. I think it tells you on the schedule. I can't. I'm not quick enough to qualify for these. Not quick enough for these events, chat. These I'm not in like Baptist's division. Way too quick for me. How do we? Oh, I thought you might be able to. What's this? That's the one we've already done, that, haven't we? It's this one. I was looking at the wrong one. So, should tell us here what. That's a live broadcast. Where's the information on it? That's a live. We don't want to go in the live broadcast because I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do it on the PC. Better quality if I do it through the PC, chat. If we watch it through this, if we watch it through that, the quality won't be very good. It'll be a bit poo. So we're going to watch it at the highest quality settings that YouTube allows. And we'll watch it live like that. So I've got it in the background ready. I've just got to get it set up once it actually goes live. You'll need to give me some info on the you need to give me some info on the sound, on the volume. It might, just to get it right, we might have to up it a bit or lower it a bit. So once it goes on there, you lot can let me know that. I'm not from Liverpool. Where? I'm not from Liverpool. I'm from Dartford. I was born in Dartford, Kent. And I don't live in Liverpool now either. I don't live in Liverpool, just so you know. I have lived in Liverpool, but only once for a little bit. Like for about a year or two or something like that. Don't live in Liverpool, me. But yeah, I was born in Dartford. I lived just outside of Brands Hatch. I used to, up until I was 7 years old, I lived just outside of Brands Hatch. Right. That small little town, yeah. Just outside Liverpool, yeah. Right, let's have a little look on. So tomorrow we have, so it goes Toyota Cup tonight, chat, and then we've got, I think it's a nation, no, manufacturer tomorrow. So manufacturers tomorrow, and then nations is on Sunday. We will probably do the same thing tomorrow and Sunday. I don't know what times the races are on tomorrow. We'll have to find that out. I presume it's a little bit different with tomorrow's race because it's a Saturday, isn't it? So they might have it on a little bit earlier for tomorrow's nations. We'll see. Whatever time it is, we should be doing the same thing though and doing a watch along on that. Same with the nations as well. We'll do that on Sunday as well. But it's going to be an interesting one. What are we saying, chat? What are we saying? Who are you saying is going to take this? I still think it's between Paul and Baptist. Although, I mean, it could be anyone. They're all so close in terms of pace. They're all so close in terms of pace that it could literally be anyone. I mean, there's other really fast drivers in there as well, isn't there? I think Paul. That's who I think's going to do it, but it depends. I don't think Paul's ever been to a World Finals event, has he? I think this is his first event because he was too young. I think in the past, I think this is his first event he's actually been to because of his age. So you don't know whether being in the live stage might, different equipment and stuff like that. You just don't know, do you? So it'll be interesting how he performs at that at the actual world final stage. Sandbagging. who Miyazano's not there. I don't think Miyazano's even there, is he? I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think Miyazano's even there. I don't think he's even qualified for any of it really this year. I don't think he mustn't have even tried. I don't think he's, as far as I know, he's not there. I'm not 100% sure, but he wasn't on the list when we went through it before, so don't know why. Not sure on the reasoning why he's not there. He qualified and Subaru. He wasn't on. Are you sure? Let's have a look. Oh, I can't even look on. I think it won't let me look because I've already picked. No, am I racing? No, not unfortunately. I'm not in Barcelona, mate. I'm not in Barcelona. No. Yeah. I didn't qualify for these. These are like Baptist and all that. We're just doing a watch along, hence the title, watch along. We're not racing. Let's just have a little look on here and see if it says. So I picked. Yeah, I can't look at the I can't look because I've already picked. I picked two different ones. So on this account, I picked. So on my main account, I picked. I don't earn anything tonight, Mike, at all. I won't earn anything on this stream, to be honest, because this stream will get demonetized because it'll have when we watch along on this, there won't be any ad revenue because it'll get taken off us because if they play any music or anything like that, it'll instantly be demonetized. They always get demonetized these, so I won't earn a penny. I won't earn a penny off this stream at all. But yeah, I mean, obviously memberships and stuff like that we do, but they're, memberships and anything like that we earn, but ad revenue, don't earn a penny. I put Porsche down for manufacturers on this count, and then I put, I think I did Baptist on this one, and I did Spain for nations on this account. On my other account, I did Pole as the Toyota Cup, and I think I did McLaren because of Consta. We had to back Consta up, didn't we? We had to give Consta the support for a manufacturer on my other account. And then I think we did... who did we do? Brazil. I think we did Brazil for the nations because they've got quite a strong team as well. So for the nations, we did Brazil on the other account. So yeah, we've done Brazil and Spain, Porsche and McLaren, just because we're giving Consta some support there. Baptist and Pole for the Toyota Cup. They're the two accounts that I've done it on. I haven't done one on my American account though. No, I'm just doing it on the two different ones. It divides it up a little bit. It just divides it up and gives us double chance of winning then, doesn't it? Mike, you legend. Here's my quarterly £5. Mike, appreciate your support, legend. Chat, thumbs up and legend vote there for Mike, please. Thank you for the dono, legend. Yeah, the stream will get demonetized because as soon as Gran Turismo play any of that music in their live stream, when we're doing the watch along, it'll instantly cut any ad revenue, and that won't. It'll go to. I think it'll end up just being put to. It doesn't go to the people that are doing it. It just cuts it. They don't allow you to earn ad revenue on the music, so that doesn't bother me. It happened last time we did it as well. But it's more about the fun of this and watching together. It's more about us watching this event together in the chat where we all know each other. I think it makes the whole event more enjoyable when watching it, when you're watching it with people that you like chatting with, rather than just going in a random stream where people are shouting out stupid comments about some of the drivers and stuff like that, and just making really stupid comments in there. I won't be going into any of them ever again. I'll stick to doing this if we watch it. But yeah, make sure you spam that legend mode there for Mike, chat. He's a legend. Appreciate your support, mate, you legend. Never go to an event like this. One, I'm not fast enough, and two, I've got family. I've got family that, the missus works full time, so unfortunately, events like this are a no-go for me because my family comes first, the missus and that, and she obviously works full time. They've got kids, so yeah, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't go to it. The only way I could go to something like this is if it was in this country and I could drive down there and watch it. Which if it ever went into the UK, I'd maybe drive down and pay for the ticket and watch it. That's I might do that, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't be going outside of the UK. The partition that stops me leaving the bedroom. That is exactly right what Mike says there, chat. That is exactly that's true. You're right, Tyson. How are you, mate? All right, Thunders. Yeah, I like doing the watch along with you lot because we get to watch it with people that we we always race together and stuff like that. We talk in the live streams, plus you lot know each other. It's just more of a friendly environment to watch it, I would say, because we know what's going to happen when what's going to happen in like the PlayStation channel. You'll have Xbox people in there as well. Xbox is better than PlayStation and shit like that. No one really cares about that. Most people turn the chat off, but in this one, you'll be able to leave the chat on, and we can all have a good watch of it and talk about the moments, discuss any like racing incidents, and we can discuss it fairly. So yeah, it'd just be a lot more fun. I'm looking forward to it. It should be entertaining. It's going to be a very close race. Like I say, I'm generally. I mean, the people in this Toyota Cup, it's not as competitive as in general. It's not as competitive as like the nations. But looking at it, the entry list is crazy. Like, I mean, any one of 10 drivers or more could probably win it. It's absolutely crazy the level of drivers in these races. It always is, Jonathan. Like, anytime you get anything on Gran Turismo or Forza, each side will just start arguing with each other in the live chat, and it's just stupid, isn't it? So, yeah, that's why I'm doing the watch along. We can all watch it together, and yeah, enjoy the racing without any idiots in the chat. You're being recommended my channel, are you, Zach? That's what we like. That's what we like. It's funny sometimes. Yeah, I just can't be arsed with all that. Like, not when I'm in when I was a teenager, I was all for PlayStation. Sod that Sega. Sega. I used to have a Mega Drive actually, but it was all Sega Saturn versus PlayStation. I was a PlayStation fanboy, but now, too old to care about all that crap. But yeah. How long is it? We've got 20 minutes until it starts, chat. 20 minutes until the racing starts. What should we do? Should we have a little look at let's have a little look at the nations as well. I wanted to see who won the manufacturers and who won the nations in the qualifying for the EU, just to give us an idea of the form guide of like each of these races. So we've looked at the Toyota already. The manufacturers is not that one because that's the exhibition. We want that's an exhibition season. That one. This is the one we want, isn't it? I think that's the official one, isn't it? I think that's the official one, I think. Right, so Lopez in Lopez in the Toyota actually topped it. So Lopez in the Toyota topped it in the EU. Antonio, who's not old enough, was P2. So Antonio actually, because of his age, he doesn't qualify for the manufacturers that will be on tomorrow. That's a shame for Antonio. But Jose Serrano, Porsche finished P3. It's a shame Nick as well. I haven't seen Nick around on the Gran Turismo community recently, which is a shame. Like, he qualified P4 in Toyota, but obviously Lopez beat him to it. And yeah, I've not seen Nick back on the game, which is a shame. So yeah, I don't know whether he's just gave up on it after that result, or I'm not too sure. But Killian with Subaru was P5. So depending on the tracks they use on Saturday, tomorrow, it'll be interesting what cars are going to do well. If dynamic weather's in there as well, that's going to make it even more interesting. Mags, you legend, thank you for the $2. What do you think of next week's dailies? My brutal honest opinion of the dailies is a little bit lazy. I mean, we've had, so last week we had Trial Mountain as Daily Race B. Next week we've got Trial Mountain as Daily Race C. And it does look like it's in something different. Car-wise, it looks interesting. It actually looks like it's not a race car for a change. Although, some people think it could be the Red Bull Junior car, which will be pretty entertaining to drive, in all honesty. It would be pretty entertaining if it is that. But the reason they're saying it might be the Red Bull Junior for next week's Daily C is because there was an event on in Japan, I think, on Gran Turismo. And they had a race with them conditions, basically, at Trial Mountain in the Red Bull Junior. So people are saying it could be that for Daily Race C. But Daily Race B is Cataluna, no chicane, after we've just had that in the GT World Series. And we had Cataluna in Group 4 about 3 or 4 weeks ago. In my opinion, they should be using different tracks. But that's just my opinion on it. That's just my take on it. I would like to see other tracks being used. Tokyo, St. Croix. There's loads of tracks out there that they're never using. So, yeah. Just my personal opinion is they should be using more tracks and different tracks that we've not had before. Because it's like every week the same track now. 6 o'clock. In just over 15 minutes, John. By the way, make sure you spam that legend vote there for Mags, please, for the supporting the stream, the legend. Thank you so much for supporting. Appreciate it, Mags. And that's Porsche fan, I think, isn't it? So you're Porsche fan, aren't you, Mags? Yeah, there's so many tracks on the game to choose from. It's just a shame that it's always the same tracks every week. I feel like we've got unlimited potential with Gran Turismo almost, but then the dailies are always the same track. It's just like, pull your finger out and you'll create a better game. But yeah, the racing starts in 15 minutes. We're just having a look at the form guide for where people in the EU qualified for different races. This is the manufacturers that we're looking at now. We've already looked at the Toyota Cup. I'm just having a little look. So Consta did P6 in McLaren as well. So Consta did a really good job in that McLaren, didn't he? To qualify P6, that's pretty insane. He did a 444, 447, and a 450. I was all the way down here somewhere. So I was with Nissan. I did a 355, a 390, and a 389. Actually, I did all right for me. I did all right for me there. 355, a 390, and a 389. Not too bad for a little pleb. Not too bad for a pleb that just streams. Anyway, but yeah, pretty solid run in the nations for myself there. Sorry, manufacturer. So that's the manufacturer's form guide. Let's have a little look at yeah, for next week, Renato. They're next week's. We want to have a look at the nations. So that's the. Is that that's the 2023. So this was. So we have Serrano for nations at the top, Killian behind him. This is why I don't like. I'll show you something straight away on this. Why I don't like the structure of this game with nations. Spot the main thing that's a problem with that. You can see it straight away. The two top people got two big rounds and then didn't race again. With only having 3 rounds required to qualify, the top 3 literally got their points and was like, right, I'm not racing again because I don't want the points going too high. So they lower the points, so it's harder for anyone to go above them. They need to figure a way of getting rid of that. I feel like you should be forced to Like, you should need to race every race. There should be a system that gets rid of that somehow. I don't know how they could do it. The only way I think they could do it for top split is having like a point system based on like where you finish in the top split. But then it'd be difficult because you have more than one race, because you have 3 races and you'd have the same points for slot 1, 2, and 3, which wouldn't be fair. So yeah, they need to figure a way of getting rid of that so people race all the way through, because it's a bit unfair that people just bail it halfway through and like, well, don't need to race again now. But who else qualified for? So Spain, they had Spain's team in Nations chat looks insane. I mean, just look at that team for Nations for Spain. They had P1, 3, and 4. And they even had P6 there, but Nico obviously just off qualifying. But yeah, Paul, Lopez, and Serrano. That team looks unstoppable, personally, I think. Like they look like one of the best teams there. Yeah, it's... I mean, France looks good. Kylian, Baptiste, and Aphelion. That's a good team as well. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's an extremely strong team. But yeah, the Spain team just looks insane. It's going to be... That'll be an interesting one on Sunday. Who takes that? I still think personally, chat, I don't know what your view is on this. Like, you know, with regards to the way it runs now, I preferred the old structure. I much preferred it when it was individuals fighting for the nations. I don't like the team structure because I think the team structure takes away from that rivalry. I want to see the fastest battling each other. I don't want to see the fastest on the same team. I want to see them fighting each other. So I want to see Serrano fighting Paul and Lopez all in a battle. I don't want to see them on the same team. It takes away a bit of the edge for me, and like it's not as enjoyable to watch for the nations anymore. I don't know if any of you used to watch it on GT Sport when we had like Mikao Azal, Fraga, Miyazano, Karatsa. They were all like fighting it out, and it was so enjoyable. It was probably peak GT. Well, the FIA then. It was peak FIA. It was amazing to watch. It was honestly, I would not lie when I said that I probably enjoyed watching the old GT Sport Nations races more than some of the F1. It was amazing. Like, it was so exciting. It was brilliant. But it's gone a bit downhill since they went into this team structure. I'm not into it. I just think it loses a part of it for me. But yeah, that's the form guide for that. Anyway, so Spain are looking extreme. I think we've made a good guess with Spain. I think we've made quite a good guess on that. SCS gave someone Pio. Are you still going on about that, man? Hey, Pio's got his Christmas tree. Hey, look at Pio's little avatar. He's got a Christmas tree, chat. But yeah, Pio's still going on about the fact that he got beat on the time trial. So the sport mode time trial. Let's have a little look. Have you done the new one yet, Pio? He didn't get beat. He got annihilated by SCS, chat. Have you done this one yet, Pio? Let's see if we can search for him. Does the list go low enough for Pio? I'm not too sure. I don't know if he's on here, to be honest. Where are... Oh, we're still P20, actually. That's not too bad. I only did that on the morning. I haven't been back on it, and we're still P20. What's the top time now? A 1. 20.1. Interesting. I didn't think I'd still be in the top 20 when we only did like a few laps on Thursday morning for that. Interesting. Right. Let's see how long is it now till this racing starts. So let's have a look. We got 10 minutes, chat, until it goes live. We're gonna have to do a little a sound test when it goes live. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a sound test in a minute. How can I do this? Let me get this on. It should go live in a minute, and I can have the background noise just to do a sound test with you lot when it goes live. But it's not live at the moment, so I can't check that yet. Once it goes live, we'll do a sound check on it. You're right, Will. How are you, mate? STS has a world record. Right, wait. That was a bit loud. You wouldn't have heard that, but the advert came on. So it is starting now. Let me just... I don't think you can hear that. Let's skip that. Right, okay. Put it full screen. We'll put 4K. Don't know if we can have that on at the moment. Right, I'll let you just hear the audio for now. Chat until it starts, just to get an idea. But let me tell me whether this audio is good or loud or quiet. Right, what was that like for you lot? Was it loud? Was it quiet? Was it... How was that? Just to get an idea of what it's going to be like when it goes live. Let me know in the chat there, because then I can just adjust it before we go in. A bit loud, bit louder. Weaker side. Okay, wait there. What about now? Oh, wait there. Got to wait for it to come back on. What about that? How was that? I can put it on in a minute, I think. That's good. Tell you what, we can put this. Let's see if we can get this on now. Wait there. We've got 4K on. Right. We can just watch the build up. Peaky Blinders. Is that okay for you lot? Is it is that too loud? Is it too quiet? Oh wait there, it's not on yet. Wait there. But they'll put it on. There you go. So qualifying time trial is Cataluna, Corolla at... Okay, that's interesting. National layout. Semi-final Group A is in the Toyota Super Racing at Grand Valley. Whee! Grand Valley yet again. Nice variety there. Semi-final B, Deep Forest Raceway, Toyota GR Super Racing Concept again. Repechage is in the Yaris at Lake Louis track. That'll be chaos. And the grand final is the hybrid, the GR10 hybrid at Cataluna GP layout. A lot of Cataluna, obviously because they're at Barcelona, so that track doesn't have dynamic weather, so there won't be any dynamic weather. Could have been Lego, yeah. Could be. I wonder if they're using custom. I presume they'll use a custom slipstream for the Toyota GR10, because that'll be tricky at Cataluna, wouldn't it? If they don't change the slipstream, that'll be very hard to follow, because that car is pretty high downforce. I would think they will alter that though for the World Finals event. I can't imagine they'd leave the normal slip on for that. Quite a few fast drivers in this, though, isn't there? Looking at the list now, like Karatsa's very fast. Yeah, Pio's Christmas tree. We all know it's Christmas when Pio has his Christmas tree on. Yeah, at least Lego's not in there, is it? So they'll be driving that, obviously that car. Yeah, Inestrosa is back. He's back now. So it should be. I think that's a good indication. It'd be interesting how his pace is. Apparently he's been racing ACC recently as well. So he's been on ACC in the pretty high ranks in them. Yeah, Antomic. What this is this is tricky, this car. The other hypercars, iRacing has some of the other hypercars in it. So I was looking on there, iRacing's got like 2 or 3 of them already. Like, it does make you wonder why PD can't get like more than 1 in there. You're right, Damien, how are you, mate?
The start was not ideal for us. We started with
chaos.
We dropped back. We had collisions. Thank God, both cars are still running. And then
iRacing has them all. Yeah, I think it's. Oh, I don't think it has all. Has it got all of them? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if it has all of them.
I think we have good pace. We're maybe a fraction quicker than the Porsche, but they're doing a great job here. So yeah, we'll do our best with P2 right now. We'll keep pushing. Try and bring home a 1-2.
You prefer the Persia over the other height? I prefer the. I'm still more of a fan of like the Porsche, like the hybrid Porsche, like that generation, the 919. Is it? Still more of a fan of them with a higher downforce.
I was so happy to make a move for P1.
That's just my opinion. I like the higher downforce of them cars. This car's got quite low. Well, not low, but it's a lot lower on downforce compared to the older LMP1s. The Ferrari. I haven't seen the new Lambo.
I think, you know, easy race. I think to overtaking same category, it's really challenging. Easy to get
the new Ferrari high. I mean, any of them cars would be nice in this game, but I don't think. I don't know. I mean, we're still running cars from like years ago, aren't we? They haven't updated the cars in years, so I don't think that'll happen. It's the intro SDS. I'm not being quiet in the intro. If you want to watch a watch along, I've got to talk as well during the stream chat. I'm just going to sit here silent. I won't be sitting in silence, just to let you know. Yeah. So Porsche have only got is it Josetti? So Jose Serrano, and who else is it for Porsche? They look very strong, don't they, because of the people that are in there. And also Japan are missing one for theirs, aren't they? I can correct them on their commentary. What, when they get stuff wrong? We'll see. They're not normally that bad. They do make the odd mistake with the cars, but like with the pros and cons of the cars, they make a few mistakes, but they don't play the game, so they don't really know, do they? I would love to see all the new cars in GT7. It's a shame that we don't get the cars updated more. Like, all these cars should be in there. I still think Paul's going to be very quick here today, you know. I've just got a feeling he's going to be quick all weekend. He's, like, I mean, if you've raced against him in the EU, you'll know what we're saying. Like, he's just insanely quick. Like, stupidly quick. You're right, Terry. How are you, mate? Are you on about Aphelion, you mean, Dominican? Do you mean Aphelion? Aphilion's quick, but I wouldn't... I mean, Aphilion's very quick, but I don't know whether he's like Paul and Baptist. It's hard. I mean, Aphelion is really, really quick. They're all really quick. The problem is there's so many quick drivers now in this game. Like, it's hard to split them. On their day, anyone can probably win. Yeah, Aphilion's he's a quick driver, but there's just so many of them now on GT7. Like on GT Sport, it was a little bit easier to pick out the like top 3 or 4, but this game now, it's just it can literally anyone. Right, there's no audio. No, there is now. Just make sure I'm up to date on Latvia. I am. Just making sure it was live. I haven't got my watch on. Let me get my watch on. Happy weekend, everyone. Hope you're alright, Susie. Yeah, they're on the GTDD Pros. They'll be on the GTDD Pros now. Ah, Max, you legend. Thank you for the $5. Yeah. Yeah, they are behind on the years of the cars. It's been like that on Gran Turismo for a long time though, Mags. Hopefully that'll improve on the next game, but who knows. Make sure we spam that legend out there for Mags, chat. Appreciate your support, legend. Thank you so much. That's Porsche, by the way, anyone. That's Porsche fan. Mags is Porsche fan, just in case you didn't know. Hopefully we will get it updated, won't we? In the next game. I really hope the next game's going to have a lot of hopefully the next game will have a lot of new content. Fingers crossed. It will be. GT8 will be PS5 only.
Gran Turismo World Series calendar. Yes, the year is coming to a close, but don't worry. We've got an amazing weekend of racing lined up for you. We have got surprises.
I thought she had Jarmies on then.
We have got prizes that you can take home with you. It's very exciting. We've also, of course, got the finals for the Manufacturers' Cup and the Nations' Cup too. But today, it's all about 22 drivers, all on their lonesome, racing against each other to find out who is the best. Yes, is the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup today.
I think GT8 will be out in 2026 or 2027, I reckon. Probably, I think 2026.
GT Cup will be made up of the top 21 drivers from the 2023 online series. 3 winning drivers.
I just said that, Greg. I thought that. That's what I said. Look, my missus has got Jarmies like that.
Qualifying will be held in 2 groups, with each driver taking a single lap attack. The drivers will be split into the semi-final groups A or B according to their qualifying time. This qualifying order will also determine the grid order for the semi-final.
Oh yeah, you don't have to watch that now, Stu. You can watch it after, just so you know.
Semi-finals will see the top 4
you can watch it after it's live.
Automatically qualify for the grand final. If you fail to make the top 4, you're entered into the repechage. Again, it's the top 4 drivers that progress into the grand final and join the fastest drivers from the semi-finals. At this point, we will say goodbye to the 4 drivers that finished outside the top 10.
Thomas, thank you for the 32 months, legend. Spam that legend right there for Thomas, please. Thank you very much for the long-time support, mate.
From a semi-final or the repechage determines your grid position for the grand final.
There could be, yeah, keep an eye out. There could be something new in here, but I don't think we're going to get any new tracks or new cars, you know. Like, so today you probably won't see anything today. And I don't think there's going to be any new tracks throughout the weekend. I don't think it's going to happen.
My name is Tom Brooks, alongside me as
Lucas, Lucas asked if he could be blue.
So much to come here this weekend. Manufacturers' Cup, Nations' Cup tomorrow and Sunday. But today, it's all about the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. This is going to be mega, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a favourite of mine this over the years. And we've got 4 amazing...
No disrespectful comments, by the way, in this chat. Just to warn you. Like, obviously, I was only joking saying it looked like Jarmies, but just keep it respectful at all times. I don't want this chat turning into the official chat, if you know what I mean. Just keep it respectful.
Very quick alongside Coque Lopez. The Spanish contingent very fast here, Tom.
As you would expect, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya was the venue for this one, the national layout, but it didn't go all the way for some of the drivers.
Off on the gravel.
Off-track excursion, his lap time disallowed as a result of that. You can see the visible frustration on the Brazilian's face, but keep an eye out for this. Ryota Kokkonen, an amazing lap time with just over 1 minute left of the session to go top of the pile, and, well, a typically understated reaction from the Japanese driver. But here are the qualifying results from the 22 that started.
That penalty was a bit... I don't think that would be a penalty on the game if we were playing it, but that they run different track limits. I think they run really strict for the like the qualifying. Pete, thank you for the dono, legend. Chat, thumbs up on legend out there for Pete as well, please. Thank you for the support, Pete.
Lucas Benelli and also Rama as well. You can see them down here in 21st and 22nd place respectively. Their lap times disallowed, and you might be imagining that there should be 24 drivers here. Sadly, a couple couldn't make it due to some travel-related issues. But it's going to be hugely interesting to see how this one works out.
Yeah, it just shows you guys how important it is over this one-shot qualifying to get it right. One little mistake, one little moment onto the gravel, one track limit penalty, and you're at the back of the grid with it all to do in the first semi-finals.
Yeah, let's have a look, shall we, at the grid order then for semi-final A, because they were...
Right, let's have a little look at the grid. A pole is on P2, chat.
Starting on pole position ahead of Pole Europe. You've got Adriano Carrazza on the second row ahead of former champ Takuma.
I wouldn't put a road car as Pole's best cars either, so with it being a road car and he's still in P2, that's a good starting position for him.
He's going to have to bounce back from 11th on the grid.
Yeah, it's going to be one to watch, I think, Lucas, today. But someone else to watch, of course, is going to be Ryota Kokubun. There he is, looking, as always, cool, calm, and collected, starting from pole position. What's going through his mind right now? Probably about the same as qualifying. Not very much, I'd say.
Exactly. And also, there's some hometown favourites here this weekend, especially Pole Euro. The Spanish driver, local lad to here, just 18 years of age. Here he is, and I know that there is a lot of support here in Barcelona from Pole Euro tonight. You can hear the delight of the crowd, and, well, if that's not a lot of pressure on your shoulders for such a young driver, I don't know what is.
Can't hear them talk.
A couple of attempts at least, surely, having that crowd behind you, definitely.
About that,
amazing
any
to
better?
see that home support for him as well. And of course, someone else as well, is we have Callan Roach from the US, completely new to this competition, 18 years old. And we've been told a lot, very, very quick online, but hasn't had a chance to show these events yet due to being just too young. But now,
Will hasn't quit the game, he's just playing iRacing
yeah, that's
all
it.
the
We're
time.
really looking forward to seeing what Callan is going to be able to do. Here are the racing details then for semi-final A. The Toyota GR Super Racing Concept is the car. Racing hard
is
tyres.
Will not there?
8
How
laps,
come-
rolling start. What
How
are the
comes
key
Will's not there? I
overtaking
thought he
opportunities on
qualified.
this circuit, JB?
For anything with a long straight, I mean, T2, you've got a long draft down the back straight there. Good to try and make a late lunge if you're feeling a little bit brave, of course. And of course,
Thank you for that, Pete, legend. Appreciate your support,
well.
Pete.
So, other than that, it's actually quite a narrow track, so positioning is definitely going to be everything. But of course, the car they're racing in, the Toyota GR Super Racing Concept, or to you and me, basically a Group 3 car with just shy of 600 brake horsepower, coming in at under 1250 kg. Very, very
Didn't
fast
Will
machine.
qualify for the manufacturers? So Will should be there, shouldn't
That
he?
lends itself to good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you love it, Jimmy, because it's got a turbo on it. Anything with a snail, you're all over, aren't you?
I'm waiting for like the ludicrous blow. Maybe not for this car, but still fun nonetheless.
Absolutely. Well, of course, it's not only about us here in Barcelona, it's about you at home watching the GR Supra GT Cup here tonight. And there are loads of campaigns we've got in Gran Turismo 7 over the course of this
Will will
weekend.
be in manufacturers on Saturday, along with Consta chat. So tomorrow,
If you've opened
you'll see
up
Will and
GT7 in
Consta.
the past couple of days, you'll see that it's been updated for the GT World Finals in Barcelona. It's your chance to get rewarded with amazing gifts all weekend. If you think you can predict who'll be our 2023 winners, click the bonus campaign button on the GT7 map screen to join the Predict the Winner campaign by Brembo. Receive 1 million credits every time you predict correctly. You can vote right up until the start of the grand final race of each event. You can also get rewarded by watching the World Finals directly in
we
GT7.
voted.
Click the button on the
I
GT7
did,
map screen and join the Viewers campaign by BES.
For the Toyota Cup, I did Pole and Baptist as my two. I've got two accounts. So on one account we did Baptist,
While
one
you're in
account we did
GT7,
Pole.
participate in the final celebration race to experience the same races as the drivers competing at the World Finals this weekend. Keep practicing, and who knows? It could be you going head-to-head here next year.
Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that. Now, anyway, we're normally here in our GT desk for the commentary, but we're actually going to head over to the commentary box here this afternoon.
Been a while, hasn't it?
Because, well, we've got to keep the sound to a minimum of some sort of description. So let's head into what is our booth for the evening. This is where we're going to be based and commentating on all of the races live. And it's also an amazing opportunity for you to join us in one of the other languages as well. We're live in 7 different languages over the course of this event. You can see the Spanish commentators there, the Italians, you've got Emilio and Andrea, the Portuguese, Francisco and Duarte, and then we've got Nakajima-san and Yamada-san. But here is the grid as they line up then. Here is Pole Yura in second position
Pete,
on the
again.
grid. Let's see how
Chat, can we get another legend vote there for Pete for another dono? Thank you, man, you're a legend. Thank you very much for the support. Spam that legend vote yet again, chat. Thank you so much for the dono, Pete.
Barbara in 5th place with Caleb Roach in 6th position. Then you've got Mehdi Hafidi, the Frenchman, in 7th place.
First race is Grand Valley, is it?
Let's see what the Italian is going to be able to do. Kylian Messiaen in 9th position on the
This will be interesting.
Kindle, the American driver, making his debut in the GR Super GT Cup with
the Supra will kill the front tyres on this track, so I don't think they're going to pit, so there's no pit in this, it's just a flat-out race.
JB will just spread that field out a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll give this man, Rich Cookman, a little bit of breathing room going down into T1. The home support here for Paul Ura is pretty substantial, so that's got to be in Cookman's mind, rolling towards the start-finish line.
You're right, Clone Fam. How are we, mate?
8 laps here, it's going to be a
I know.
to the end.
Did you see the stutter on that there?
At the bottom of the field there.
That was on YouTube, that, it was on my end as well.
Make the move, so definitely going to be one for us to watch.
I reckon they've got a 4K replay like thing on it.
Drivers then. Top 4 will automatically progress through into the grand final here tonight.
It should be smoother when it goes into it.
Let's see what is going
But any rage race, no thank you. We want a smooth, we want a clean battle.
The timeline and get this one underway. It's Grand
Wish they'd do
Valley.
closer starts. I would like them to do closer starts for these, like side by side. Make them do a proper rolling start.
5th to 10th into the repechage. One driver.
No worries, Clone Fam.
No further. Let's get ready to go.
All right, let's go.
The Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup is underway here in Barcelona as Ryota Kokkerman leads the field across the timing line through the left-handed kink of turn 1 and then into the hard braking zone of turn 2.
Now, one thing we know from doing this week is you don't want to be in the slip, do you? It depends on tyre wear, though. Does anyone know the tyre wear settings for this? Hard tyres shouldn't have an issue. It should be flat out to the end, I would think.
I reckon is where we may see the first moves starting to be made.
Yes, the first realistic place to make a pass. A clean start for everyone so
far. I'm guessing they're running custom slipstream here as well.
Paul Ura thinking about a move, hard thinking about on the inside. They're just applying the pressure.
Times 5.
Contact there.
They're probably running custom slipstream. Oh, 3 wide in the back.
Punted out wide there. They're side by side. Ura, they're going for the move already.
Oh, what a move. What a move.
It goes wild.
Go on, Paul.
Their compatriot takes the lead, and now it's Ura, Kokkerman, and Karatsa.
See, in Group 3, Paul will be quick, really quick. He's rapid in Group 3.
Good start also to Lucas Benelli's race. He was in 11th on the grid, right at the back. He's already up into 8th position with half a lap done of this one. Guy Barbara, Takuma Miyazono under investigation for colliding with another car. We saw them 3 wide.
Karatsa looks really quick as well. Look at Karatsa. He's all over Kokkerman. He's going to go for him in this corner, I reckon. Will he send it? I think he might send it there. He's got. Is he? No, he's going to wait. He's going to wait for the straight. Oh, he hit him. Bit of contact there.
Going to go into a left-handed kick though, and this is where the circuit begins to open.
So this is a tricky corner. We all know how tricky that is. Oh, he ran wide a bit.
Now Paul Ura doesn't have the advantage of
6 tenths ahead though. Kokkerman won't get that. He won't gain 6 tenths.
He's got a 6-tenth gap down towards T1.
He won't get that. I don't think he'll get him from there.
It's a Euro going defensive to the inside.
I would say that Karatsa's more likely to get a move on Kokkerman.
Quite that close. Karatsa in 3rd place behind Kokkerman. Not quite close enough for me, I don't think, Tom.
Will he send it? Will he send it? Will he? Oh no, he's going to play it safe.
In towards turn 2, but no room at the inn for the Brazilian driver at the moment. Caleb Roach doing a good job. Karatsa just biffing the wall on the outside of 2 there. Might cost him just a slight bit of momentum. Let's see if we can piece together what happened into the first lap. We're on board here with Guy Barbara in 5th position. In front of him here is Takuma Miyazono. Barbara, well, going for a move that was never really on. Was it? That pushed out Miyazono wide, and then
that's a penalty. That's a penalty.
Caleb Roach there too. So I wonder whether Guy Barbara might be slapped on the wrist for that.
Yeah, I mean, I know Guy Barbara, he wouldn't have done that on purpose. I think he just missed his braking zone there a little bit. Easy to do as is, but of course the result is a little bit of contact there. Echemetian, the 11th driver, getting...
Yeah, it wouldn't have been deliberate, chat. That corner, we know. Everyone who's been doing it this week on Daily Race, if you go slightly wide and getting on the brakes, it's so hard to slow the car down on that corner, especially with hard tyres as well. So I doubt that was deliberate. 3-second penalty.
Fair? I think so. It was a fairly big contact from him, but that is going to ruin.
So Miyazano is there, yeah. Miyazano's in P5. I just realised.
With a massive history at these GT events, currently in 5th place behind a relative new lover, Callum Roach, who's doing really well so far.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how.
I tell you what, Paul looks rapid. He's pulling away. Look, he was 8 tenths ahead then.
For now, in fourth position.
He's dropped a bit there, but he's back on the exit. Look, he's getting better exits.
In the grand finals for the Toyota GR-GT Cup back in 2021. He'll be hoping to try and go one better than that here tonight, but that's going to be a very tall order. Guy Barber there with a 3-second penalty.
That's going to drop him massively,
so that's going to drop him down behind Kindle, it's going to drop down behind Hafidi. It's going to spoil his race and might possibly put him on the fringes of not being able to make it through even into the back charge. Meanwhile, back in the battle for the top 5 places, Caleb Roach coming to pressure here from Miyazono, who uses that slipstream to his advantage. He's now got the inside line on the brakes in towards turn 2.
Nice move.
Miyazono making that move look easy. He runs it
he's coming back at him. He's coming back at him.
Here for Roach,
He's got the slipstream. Miyazono's got the slipstream. He's all right.
They run side by side. He ducks back behind Miyazono's Toyota for the time being.
Yeah, and you see Miyazono there just sort of showing, showing the new kid in the block how it's done. Say, you know what, I've been here for a long time. I don't like the fact you're in front of me. I want to get by you as quick as I can and now try and chase after Karatza, Kokubun and Yura in front. So the Spaniard driver, currently leading. There he is on your screens ahead of...
They need to...
I was going to say, since the move at the start, he's not really had a response, Kokubun. He's been able to stay relatively...
he's getting a little bit closer there,
but... Let's say it's about 4 tenths, I think 3.5 tenths really at the start of the backs.
Paul dipped it in the gravel a bit, well, in the sand a bit there.
Close to be for a go into T1.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any sort of moves being made at this particular point as the field begins to settle down and into that rhythm, but it's kind of later on in the race where you begin to expect them to come in.
This is
Lap
Daily
3 out of 8
C,
we're on. We're not even a half race distance yet, and Paul Yura trying to put
Is it me, or have they got the replays on the high visual settings, so it's at it looks like 30 FPS rather than 60? I prefer 60 FPS replays. It looks like they're running it on the 30 FPS mode.
To his weekend if he's able to take the checkered flag in first position. As
it looks a bit like stuttery.
Down to 10th.
Yeah, unfortunately for Guy Barber, I mean, he's still on the fringes right now. Finishing 10th does put you through to the repechage, so I mean, they're kind of fortunate in some way that we've had not been able to attend due to travel issues. It means
I would have preferred they ran the 60 FPS mode. I think it looks smoother.
Chance saloon, but of course, being in that top 4, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, Carl Etemesian, the driver who is not set to make it through, and he's some 3.1 seconds off the back of Guy Barber.
So yeah, Medi's dropping off a bit on pace there, hasn't he?
Driver, as it stands for now, he is not going to be qualifying for anything, and he will be going home. But there's still plenty of time.
Pole looks really quick
to change. Places changing a little bit further down the as well.
Pole's keeping him behind with no slipstream. You know what this track is like. Slip is especially with weak slipstream, which they'll be running like a lower slip, so you'll be able to follow a lot easier.
By corner, Mr. Kuma Miyazono closes up once again onto the back of Adriano Carazza.
Benelli, of course, just behind this battle, is our biggest mover so far, up 4 places from the back of the grid at the start of the race. So we did say one to watch. He's doing well so far, but it seems kind of everything's calmed down a little bit at the front here at the moment. It's quite hard to make a pass through the part of this of the course here. It's quite very much one at a time. So
Miyazono's caught up to Carazza there. You see, Miyazono's catching Carazza.
The double hairpin into the left and
but Carazza's getting dropped by Kokubun, so I think what's happening at the moment is Kokubun is just hanging on with slipstream. Oh, Paul hit the wall. Paul hit the wall there. He's going to lose a bit. That's going to make him vulnerable on the straight. You look, he's going to be half a second now.
Anyway, we're looking back at Paul Euro, and you can see over the rear wing. Imagine this by Hirota Kokubun, one of the most decorated.
He could be a bit vulnerable here, Paul, unless he gets a really good exit. Let's see. He's got a good exit. He nailed the exit. He nailed it. He's all right. He'll be safe.
Yeah, he really is, Paul. We know that he
is right, yeah, see how are you, mate?
Driver, relatively experienced. He's been racing online with a lot of these drivers for the last couple of years, but just hasn't been old enough.
Yeah, but Carazza's getting dropped. Carazza's getting dropped by Kokubun here, so I think Paul and Kokubun have got the top 2 spots.
Something along the lines of that. So that is why he is a new face, and that is why we're now seeing him at the sharp end, because he's
Miyazono's going to get this P3 here. He's quick.
Oh! Here is Kimi Miyazono putting the pressure onto the
There's a hit. There's a hit.
So there was a bit of contact there into 2, wasn't there?
There was a hit there.
Under pressure here from Kalen Roach here too. So it's brought the American right back into the party, and that just goes to show what happens when you sort of let the aggression get the better of you.
There's a replay of that. So actually, it's a bit further down. This is Guy Barber and Busanelli. We're going.
What's going to happen here?
this is a very much a
You can't do side by side through this corner. You can't do side by.
Look at contact with the two guy rather muscles way by and Kendall. Really awesome opportunity to drive and then puts himself alongside Bucinelli.
Oh, why are we cutting it short? I would have liked to see the next bit.
Place I think was not actually kept by Kendall, the American driver. So a reminder, the top 4 drivers will automatically go through to the final here. So that fight between
Ocon's fault.
is relevant.
Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. We stream every single day as well. We're normally racing, but yeah, today we're just doing a watch along of this.
However, you don't want to be going through.
So get subscribed, hit the like button, hit the wall again.
Yeah, I mean, the rapid charges tend to be chaos. And we've got a good one lined up for you today as well, guys. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Looking back from Adriana Carrazza.
Yeah, there's no strategy. It's flat out to the end, this one.
Although he has dropped off the back of Kokoban.
Yeah, Carrazza's not got the pace. What I think's happening here is Pole is just so quick. Pole is rapid, and he's just put Kokoban staying in his slipstream. So Pole is dragging him forward and making it safe for him. I don't think Kokoban's got the pace of Pole. I think the Pole's just literally dragging him forward with the slip.
Gleaming in the darkness, they'll emerge and burst into the light. Carrazza, of course, doesn't have the advantage of the slipstream.
Yeah, classic PD. Miyazado's going to go for it.
Imagine that they're going to be changing places here as they come down the start. Straight through the kink of turn 1 into the braking zone of turn 2. Oh, Miyazato deciding that discretion is the better part of
I think these are holding each other up a bit here as well. They're fighting and hit the wall again. So yeah, they're battling defensive driving. It's just they're gonna lose more and more time to the top 2. Oof, Kokoban's right up on Pole now though, isn't he? Within 3/10.
The car is settled, you could end up really
You're right, Tempo.
just messing up the corner, losing a lot of time. So it is hard to pass there.
This is going to get very interesting on the last lap because it's only the top 4, isn't it? I think it's only the top 4. So P5 is going to want to send it.
Kokoban has gained on Pole Euro seemingly out of nowhere. Last time around, lap times are pretty much identical from these two. So
I think Pole made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, the only 2 drivers that are lapping sort of in the low 148, aside from Lucas Bonelli, who's down in 7th position. He's some half a second off the back of Mehdi Hafidi. But Kokoban there, as you say, closing that gap down to the Spaniard. Are we going to see a twist in the tail before the end of this race?
Pole keeps hitting the wall there.
We go in towards the tunnel and then the braking zone of this hairpin. Shift down into second gear, flick it into this right-hander. You've got to go one at a time through here. Anyone who tries to go 2 by 2, it's a brave opportunity and maybe a last
this could be close.
No move for Kokoban as he's not quite close enough to latch.
No, he's got a run on him. Pole got a bad exit. Pole got a bad exit. This is going to be close. I think he might go for it.
Something along the lines of that if he's going to be able to try and rebuild from that mistake. And
look at the gap.
Try
go.
And build that gap out.
I thought they were on someone else. Will he go for it?
He's in the draft. He's getting closer than he has been so far. A fight as well behind. So we've got a battle for first and second and third and fourth. Carrazza now having to defend from Miyazato. Kokoban takes the lead from Pole Euro as well. We're watching the battle for third place right now, but Kokoban has gone back ahead and then Euro has fought back. He's on the inside.
Did they employ the F1 directors here? I think they've got the F1
home crowd here, so
we just missed it
to keep the position, but these guys are now going at it big time, and they've got a little bit of space to do that. There's a 3-second gap behind Kokoban, so they can afford to have a little bit of a fight, but too much, and it's become more than a freeway scrap.
Euro go for that defensive line into the right-hander there. I wonder if that might compromise his run on the exit of the corner. Thankfully, the camber helping him through there as they flick it through.
I wanted to see that.
Part of the lap. Kokoban going for the higher outside line, taking a later apex to try and get as good an exit as he possibly can out of that and latch on to the back of the Spanish driver. You can see them kicking up dust as they try to extend the limits of the circuit as much as possible.
Edited by Pio.
He's just got this one closed off for the time being, but Kokoban, if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and they're going to be coming through to the start of the final lap, and that is where it's going to count.
See, these two don't really need to take a risk here.
Of this race, but also for their grid position in the grand
final.
Oh
yeah, it does make a difference in the grid position, but
Kokoban sort of showed his hand a little bit too early there onto the lap, so he's going to know now to defend there. Speaking of defending, Carrazza in the background weaving to try and break the toe of the cars behind, try and get rid of that slipstream, give him a bit more of an advantage going into the last half of that now. This is where I've seen Euro being pretty strong. He's pretty good on traction out of his right hander. Let's see if he is this time. No, he dips a wheel into the gravel.
This is going to be vulnerable again.
already.
This is closer than the lap before, so the only problem here is that Kokoban could be too close. You kind of want to be a little bit like further. Will he?
Well, let's see what happens as we come across the timing line.
He's going to stay to the right. Yeah, he'll stay to the right. This will be interesting.
Inside defending the line from Kokoban, who goes towards the outside. There's a bit of hip and shoulder between them into the braking zone of turn 2. Euro's got the inside line. There's a bit of contact.
That's all good. That's fair.
Can he hold it through on the
inside? He held it. Good stuff.
Has to settle for second best for the time being, as Karatsa is now up into third place there with Miyazono and Roach very close behind.
This is a good battle, this.
Final battle for the podium, but crucially, the last qualifying spot in the grand final too.
That's one last challenge of Kokoban down to the hairpin, goes for a wide entry for maybe a shallow exit, try and over-under on Ura, but he knows better than that. And I've got to say,
the only thing he can do now is get a run on the finishing line. Try and get a run to the finishing line.
Really starting to push those tyres, trying to stay ahead. This is where you start making mistakes when you're under pressure. You start pushing the car a bit harder. It starts going a little bit beyond its parameters, and then you just start losing time. But these guys separated at the hip at the moment. Ura and Kokoban is going to be a
Kimmy
great
would have
final.
pushed him off.
I can tell you that already. But behind, Karatsa, Miyazono and Roach are fighting over those last 2 places for automatic qualification to the final.
Yeah, top 4 will be going through. Just to remind you, 5th to 10th into the repechage, 11th and down, you're going home. So let's see how this is going to
So he's got a bit more of a gap this time, but he might be trying to get the run on him with the slip.
There's no way through here at this point here, JB.
No, not really much you can do at this point. You can try and get close coming out of this section, try and use the traction.
Let's see if he gets a good exit or not. Tricky exit this.
Can get side by side. A great exit there for Ura, but get onto the gravel, but a better exit.
Nah, they both.
It's going to be a drag race
Nah,
to the line
they both kind of messed the exit up.
Holding firm for now, but is he going to be able to take the lead and take the
He'll weave, won't he?
Oh,
it's going to be close.
And burst into the daylight for the final time.
Going to be close.
Ura is going to take the win.
Going to be close. Close one. Good race. Oh, Miyazono got beat. Miyazono got beat. Miyazono didn't qualify. He's got to go through the repechage.
Into the repechage. Benelli, Hafidi, Busnelli, Barbara, and Kindle will be
Miyazono didn't get through. He'll have to go to the repechage.
Race. Sadly, we will say goodbye to Carl Etemezion, but what a drive from Paul Ura there, JB.
Good
he
race.
timed that one to perfection.
Yeah, amazing drive there of a man a lot more mature than his years, I'd say that right now. And of course, a big shout out to Kalen Roach for just on the line, knocking out someone far, far more experienced than him.
Very good race. But yeah, pole chat. We called pole, didn't we? We said about him being really quick.
For Kalen Roach in his first appearance in the Gran Turismo World Series. He'll be grinning like a Cheshire cat from that one, and we'll see exactly what Paul Ura's thoughts are after that race. Carlo Etemezion, you can see the Lebanese driver there just looking a bit dejected after sadly not making the cut for the repechage. He will go no further here tonight for the Gran Turismo World Series Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup.
Understandably, really, you know, I mean, just a small mistake at the start of the race there.
Stefan, thank you for the dono, you legend. Thank you for all the support on the channel as well. Chat, spam that legend mode. Big thumbs up for Stefan, please. Thank you for the support, Stefan.
Yeah, you could see
legendary, mate.
Pretty disappointed with what happened on that first lap. This was Ura's send on Ryota Kokoban on the opener. This is what gave the Spaniard the lead. He never relinquished it from that point onwards, pretty much. Takuma Miyazono and Kayla Roach went 2 by 2 on the start of
I got me proper
3
slippers on today. Look,
turn 1 and turn 2. Miyazono going for the inside line, demoting the American down. And this is where it all began to get a bit feisty at the front. Kokoban there getting ahead of Ura, but not for long, just a couple of 100 meters or so in towards the right-hander of 2. Ura was back up the inside, and that's where he stayed until the check of break.
Yeah, he tried that move before and just couldn't quite make it work. Here was the last lap. Here was Kellen Roach, the American driver, making the best of Karatsa and Miyazono having their own fight. Miyazono, you see there wide, trying to go around the outside of Karatsa. That gives Roach an opportunity to get nice and close into the draft.
Holded very well there. Holding off for P1, like, he did a really good drive. Really good drive there.
To the line by, what was that? Maybe like a 1,000 for 100, some ridiculous margin. But there is your winner of semi-final A, Paul Ura. Nice to see that sportsmanship there between Kokubun and Yura. And there are your results.
Yep, so Paul Yura takes the spoils in semi-final A here for the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup ahead of Kokubun and Karatza. Caleb Roach in his first ever World Series event.
Yeah, Paul, the guy, Paul, he hasn't been able to qualify for like, he's been doing so well on GT Sport and GT7, but he's been too young. There's a few drivers like that, like Antonio as well. Antonio is another driver that's still too young to qualify. There's quite a few, but Paul's just made it, obviously, he's 18 now.
I mean, you must feel quite happy after that because, you know, you got a really early lead. It looked really comfy. You were just, you know, you were there. It was quite casual, 6/10. It was fine. Then all of a sudden, Kokubun, sneaky, waiting for his moment. Did you know it was coming? You must have known it was coming.
Yeah, I knew he was behind me. So what I tried to do first is try to open a gap. So at least we could just do a two-way battle instead of a 4 or a 5. And that
yeah,
worked.
I did say we mentioned that before, Woody, about.
In the end, Kokubun,
I thought it was Jarmy's, but I don't think
nice
it is.
In the end.
I think it's an actual outfit.
That was pretty intense for like 2 laps.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
You were like, okay, just breathe. How do you?
But yeah, let's keep it respectful though, chat. Keep it respectful.
Focus
just in case it goes. We don't want it spiraling off like the official chat. You know what the official chat will be like. We don't want that in here.
To defend here, and that's what I did, and it worked. And Kokubun, we had a great fight. He's very clean as well, so fair play.
Also, and I mean, I have to say, out of everyone here, you probably had the shortest trip to get here. How long did it take you to get here?
Yeah, I actually came straight from university the same morning. So yeah, it wasn't. I went to class in the morning, and yeah, basically 40 minutes by train.
Look at this.
So yeah.
Outrageous. Yeah, but that's, you know, that's pretty good. And obviously you got the home crowd here. Was that, do you find that helpful or was that pressure?
Yeah, we don't want that in here. So yeah, be respectful all the time. About the drivers as well, just to warn you all.
Did you feel the pressure?
Respectful comments about the drivers.
There was a little bit
I don't want to see anyone making any like rude remarks about any of looks of anyone or anything like that. We don't want that in here. So mods, you know what your job is. Anything like that.
But yeah, there's this kind of extra feeling where you know you're at home. You know you want to do well. But in the end, you have to be cold-minded, try to not think about it, and race as best as you can.
Well, you've already done it. You smashed
it's crazy
it
because,
straight in great position for the grand final.
I remember racing Paul on GT Sport when we were probably a little bit quicker than him, but he was probably only like 14 at the time, 13, 14. We used to be able to beat him, but then he just started really improving. He just got quicker and quicker. Same with Josetti as well.
To be careful still.
Like Josetti we used to beat, and then suddenly they just pick up pace.
Semi-final B underway.
Yeah, cheers, Jules, much appreciated. I tell you what, if I was a university professor and I was grading that performance from Paul Yura, I'd be awarding him a first after that, because that was super, super impressive. Really good defending, driving maturely beyond his years, really.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. I mean, what a mature drive. You know, he's out there, he's defending against someone with a massive history in the GT World Series event.
Yeah, we don't want that in here.
In front of a home crowd.
We don't want anyone bringing people down.
Basically, anytime he appears on screen.
So
I think
you're right, Mohammed. How are you, mate?
Definitely one to watch.
Oh, are you there, Mohammed?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's shift our attention then over to.
I didn't know you were there.
They're coming thick and fast here tonight.
Wave if you see us, Mohammed. Wave if you see us.
Coque Lopez and Jose Serrano making an all-Spanish 1-2. Then we've got Marza in third place ahead of Alex Lopez, Baptiste Beauvoir, Kanata Kawakami in fifth and sixth, then Strux, Laboutelet, Penko, Hayward, and then Rama, one of the drivers who sadly did not manage to set a fast lap time after exceeding track limits in the qualification session that we had earlier on today. He'll be down in 11th place on the grid with a lot of work to do. Now, Jimmy, who are your ones to watch for this one?
Serrano and Lopez.
Looks like Coque Lopez. There he is. Our nation's cup champ from when was that?
Last year.
Last year, my word, time flies, doesn't it? But a very, very experienced driver. I've been here for a very long time.
Are you there as well, Matt? Yeah.
I want one of those for me. Maybe all zero for me. But
exactly.
Yeah, get that down job. 21 Manufacturers Cup champion, 22 Nations Cup champion, and very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, 24 years old is Coque Lopez. What about Jose Serrano as well? Here he is, the Spaniard. A lot of support for him here tonight, as you can hear, to the plaudits of the crowd. And we've seen him for a lot of years on the Top 16 Superstars when we did that a couple of years ago. And very keen to see what sort of fight he is going to be able to bring to the front. And also keep an eye out for Kanata Kawakami as well. Japanese driver, we know that the Japanese drivers are very, very quick. We saw that just a few moments ago with Ryota Kokubun. Can Kawakami take a leaf out of his book?
He's always been very fast, Kawakami, but maybe not always in the right place at the right time. So these semi-final races are pretty frantic, so if he can get in within the mix, I think he's got a chance
is this
of
Deep
getting in one
Forest,
of those
this one,
top four
chap?
spots.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, of course, semi-final B at Deep Forest Raceway is the circuit we're going to be competing on. Once again, the Toyota Gazoo Racing Supra concept car comes out to play.
Overtaking opportunities.
10 laps, though, for this one. Deep Forest always throws
I
up a
would
few surprises,
say
too.
that this track's got two overtaking
Yeah,
like you've got
T14. Look at that drive from T10 up towards T14. So getting a good run out of that's going to be super, super important. And I think positioning, kind of similar to what we saw in the last race, is going to be also part of this. So making sure you've got your car on the right place.
This should be
right
interesting.
time.
This one.
If you find yourself too far ahead, you might end up being slipstreamed by the guys behind. So it's something to think about.
Yeah, it really is. And we know that
I would say, I actually think turn one's a better overtaking than the hairpin. Because a lot of the time, if you go for a move in the hairpin, you end up getting done on turn one.
The GR Supra GT Cup here tonight too.
Well, we've just been told to box some. You know what that means? Back to our lovely commentary booth to get semi-final B underway.
Looking forward to this one as the drivers are getting themselves in position here for the second of the semi-finals for the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. 12 drivers, of course, will be... 11 drivers will be going onto the grid for this one. Only 10 will go through automatically, that is, because we'll have the top 4 going into the grand final automatically. Then 5th to 10th will go into the repechage. 11th and down will go
weak slipstream. So nah, they won't do that for this. It'll be custom, but it won't be weak.
But let's focus on semi-final B then, and here is how the grid lines up. Pole position for Spain's Coque Lopez. What is he going to be able to do? Jose Serrano, though, will be keeping him honest alongside on that front row of the grid. Marza, the Argentinian driver, in 3rd place ahead of Alex Lopez, the 3rd of the Spaniards in 4th position. Then Baptiste Beauvoir, an old favourite. He's been here for a few years.
Baptiste will be quick in this car here, I think. In Group 3, Baptiste is really quick, isn't he?
Let's see what Josh is going to be able to do with Thomas Laboutelet alongside him.
Tell you what, some fast drivers at the back.
In 9th position on the grid. The crowd here going absolutely wild for him, with Randall Haywood lining up P10, and then Rama not managing to set a lap time. He lines up P11 and last on the grid here for this one. So racing hard tyres, exactly the same conditions as we had for semi-final A a few moments ago here, Jimmy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think fortunately for our pole sitter Coque Lopez, the start-finish line is fairly far down here, so even with the rolling start and what would usually be a good drafting opportunity down towards T1, there shouldn't be enough room really for that to happen. So we'll have a little bit of time to sort of try and set the pace.
I can hear more than one commentary. Can you hear that? Can you hear the foreign commentary as well coming through from theirs?
To the grand final. So I think we'll see them maybe go easy on each other. But of course, Marza is not Spanish. Marza's probably going to be there to try and...
I feel like you can hear another commentary coming through.
I'm interested to see how these guys work together.
Yeah, let's see what Martin Marza will be able to do from
I think because they're commentating next to another group, you can hear both.
The final corner aims for the timing line, and we will get ready to get semi-final B underway here in Barcelona. The atmosphere is palpable. We are hugely excited to see which of the top 4 will ultimately qualify.
It's because they're all in the things, aren't they? At the back, you can hear them.
Let's see what happens. Semi-final B for the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup is underway. It's a Spanish 1-2.
I still think we should have proper rolling starts for these. 2x2, like iRacing and ACC.
The first corner we go. Not a very long run in towards turn 1, so no mad moves being made through there. But Marza closing up onto the back of Jose Serrano. The first sector here at Deep Forest Raceway, it's quite technical, quite twisty, very much one at a time. So don't really expect any sort of moves to be made. But Marza trying to defy that and upset the apple cart already, looking to the inside there of Jose Serrano, but wasn't quite able to make anything stick through there.
Even if it is one at a time, it's always a good idea to just try and get into the mirrors of the guy in front, try and get him distracted, try and get him to miss an apex, because that could create an opportunity.
I expect to see Baptiste being quite aggressive to get himself in the top 4 here. I think Baptiste will be very aggressive.
So far, they'll be quite keen for a 1-2-3-4 if Penko can make his way up from the back of the grid. So on board still now, you're seeing this long.
I don't think PD trusts us, David. I don't think they trust us to do 2x2. Don't know why. It would be more fun to have a proper rolling start.
Of course, Marza has the toe as well. It seems that it's all one at a time through here. No one quite close enough for him. You can see under braking there. A big lunge there for Marza.
He hit Serrano, I think.
Car. Slows them all up on exit. That's Kawakami in the background.
Yeah, he's gone round.
Someone spun him.
Commentator's curse on Kawakami as he drops down to 10th place. Don't exactly know what happened there, but clearly are coming together with one of the other cars. Lopez now onto the back of Martin Marza as they come down the start-finish race. So from attacking to defending for the Argentinian as they go across the timeline.
Should have faked him. Should have faked him down the left.
He's last of the late breakers to get ahead of the Argentinian. They're 2 by 2 into there. Serrano's going to be really close with them as well. And keep an eye out for Baptiste Beauvoir, who's through on his inside, hip and shoulder between them.
This has got a crash written all over it.
In the same positions that they entered.
Baptiste Beauvoir, I've seen from his profile, has been nicknamed the French General, which I find is very commanding and definitely takes his driving style into account. You can see it already there. Any weakness, he's there to try and capitalise on that. So a reminder for those who maybe have just joined us.
I think Baptiste is probably quicker than these in front of him. I'd say Baptiste is quicker than the two in front.
Further of all, the top four will automatically go.
He probably wants to get through, doesn't he?
Attempt to go for the repechage, and right now it's just Strix in 11th. And will go no further in this competition.
I really want to sit on board here with Baptiste Beauvoir because I wonder if he's just going to back off the throttle a little bit, or if he's just going to be going absolutely flat to the firewall. And I wonder whether he might just be trying to.
It wouldn't surprise me if Serrano and Lopez kind of work together at the front and don't fight. Because if they don't fight, they're going to pull away from these. Oh, that's going to be inside line now.
Bit of hip and shoulder between the two.
Might get a penalty there for P5. He ran wide.
As his countryman Laboutelet picks up a penalty as they come through in towards the left-hander. They're 2 by 2 here. Beauvoir on the inside, Marza on the outside. Track position advantage here for Beauvoir as they come across the timing line and down towards the first corner. He gets ahead of the Argentinian, but is Marza going to be able to retaliate into the braking zone? Well, Beauvoir's wise to that. He goes for the defensive line in towards T1. He's going to try and force the Argentinian the long way around the outside.
Won't go around the outside there.
And indeed, Beauvoir manages to get into 4th place and retain 4th place on the exit of T1.
That was really clever driving there from Baptiste.
I'd expect to see Baptiste get up to P3 pretty quick here, because I think he's quicker than Lopez.
I will be interested. I think there's a little smattering of contact there between the Spaniard and the Argentine, so we'll see if there's any steward action there. Meanwhile,
yeah, I think Lopez was a bit.
Predicted Coque Lopez and Jose
I think Lopez was a bit wrong, like a bit dodgy that move he did. Lopez, not Coque. I'm on about P3. That was a little bit dodgy. I'd agree with you on this.
The team game really with your fellow countrymen.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? I wonder whether they will be working in sync together, and then maybe the gloves will come off with a couple of laps to go. We have seen that work out. Let's see what happened here. This is the first lap. This is Laboutelet. He picks up a 3-second penalty. He's on the inside here of Strix. He just plants it into the side of Kawakami. That sends the Japanese driver around. Strix with nowhere to go and then drops down as well. So innocent victim there was the Australian driver, and it cost 2 drivers. So a well-deserved penalty, in my opinion.
Yeah, but luckily for him, he is now back into P10 after the Laboutelet penalty, so still going through to the repechage as it stands. So here, we might get an answer to our question now as Serrano starts to put onto the back of Coque Lopez, coming down towards T1 in the toe. He's going to have extra speed, having not faced the air resistance of the car in front. Will he go for a move up the inside? I don't think he's going to for now. Serrano staying where he is. Lopez, Beauvoir and Marza.
Petco in the background there, Jimmy, as well. Just going up the inside of Randall Haywood for 6th place. So that's a good result for the Spaniard. Where has he started? He was down in 9th position on the grid, wasn't he? So that's really good for him to be making some forward progress as we come in towards the middle stages then here of this race.
I picked Spain for Nations. I've already done that. I also picked Porsche as well for manufacturers, because
and they're probably going to
Rosetti in there, haven't they?
Put away a little bit. And of course, 3rd, 4th and 5th are very, very close together, and they're all fighting over that 3rd and 4th position. If you're in 5th, you have to go through yet another race to try and get through to the grand final. So obviously they're going to try and avoid that at all costs. Here is Alex Lopez, currently as it stands, qualified for the grand final with the race.
Yeah, but that won't do any harm though, Jacob, because they've got Inestrosa and Rosetti then to do both stints.
Really got shuttled down into 5th
probably
place.
might even be faster, Rosetti. So
experience in the first couple of laps there. And maybe paid a little bit for it there.
Yeah, hopefully you can learn from that. But either way, it is a Spanish 1-2-3.
So I did different on my main account. I got 2 accounts. We've done Porsche Spain, and we've done Brazil, and
the timing line once more to start.
We did McLaren as well on my second account because of Concept, giving Concept some support.
Here between 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. Serrano.
Yeah, I think Les will be more in that situation.
As he tries to challenge for the lead and makes it stick. So Serrano into the front. front of this race for the first time. Now the question is,
Josetti's in the lead.
Immediate retaliation from Lopez, or is he now just going to sit behind Serrano and bide his time?
You have to also think, you know, it's very nice to go through the final with your compatriot, but also in front of a home crowd here, you want the applause, you want the cheers. So for Coque Lopez, you know, you must be thinking, oh, you know what, I didn't quite enjoy being jeered there as I got overtaken by Serrano. I might have another go at that down on the straight. And as we said, positioning is going to be everything here. If you're this close, coming onto the back straight, you're going to have a chance of a move into the hairpin at the end.
Yeah, there's a good opportunity for that. It's all about the exit out of turn 10. We say it quite often, Jimmy, that you carry any mistake that you have here all the way down towards that next corner. Good exits there for third, fourth and fifth place. And of course, just to remind you, top four will be going through. One of these three drivers, as it stands, will go through into the repechage, the last chance qualifier, which really puts you on the back foot. At the moment, it will be Martin.
Yeah, I know, Pierre. I don't know why Killian didn't do
towards the braking zone of 14.
Pinball physics.
Up there, sort of the accordion effect through into that corner.
Pinball, mate.
Gaining more of an advantage than the other.
Gran Turismo's pinball physics I play.
As it stands.
I think Lopez, they're actually gaining an advantage from being hit by the guy behind. So very rare you say that, but that has put Baptiste Beauvoir now into the clutches of Martin Marza behind. We're looking at that battle now as Beauvoir goes defensive to the inside. He did this before.
You're at City, how are you, mate?
Way around here. There's a lot of marbles on the outside.
They unsubscribed you, City, did they?
Beauvoir squeezing him to the outside as his broken.
I know sometimes if you don't watch content for a certain amount of time, it will unsubscribe people.
Just keeps a place there.
Happens quite a lot.
Martin Marza, but he's by no means safe. He is under constant threat, and any mistake, and Martin Marza is going to capitalise.
Yeah, tyre wear not a factor, by the way, in particular in this race. No need to worry about fuel at all. That'll come later on when we have the grand final. Incident under investigation there, Beauvoir, Lopez and Marza. I can only assume that was due to the contact that we saw at turn 14, but I don't think that there was anything really to investigate.
I think Josetti might have a little bit more pace than Lopez. It's hard to tell.
Serrano, 0.3 of a second the advantage he has over Lopez. You can guarantee that gap will begin to decrease as they come along this long back straight. Here is Lopez.
See, Baptiste ain't going to want to give up this position for P4 here, you know, chat. This could get a little bit spicy with P4 and P5. I'd rather watch P4 and P5 now. I think these two are playing safe.
He's going to stop. I think just thought better of it. I'll stay here for now, he says. You know, there's no point passing at the moment. And the absolute worst thing that could happen is if a Coque goes for a move, maybe misjudges it, and then they could take them both out of contention. But right now, it is a Spanish 1-2-3 to the delight of the home audience here as Coque Lopez again. You see, getting close. This is just the experience.
They're playing together. They're not fighting. This is sensible. There's no point fighting and losing time. They're going to secure it and wait for the last lap.
Try and make sure
So
close enough to the guy.
I'd rather watch Baptiste and P5 now. That's the battle we should be watching. But we've got the F1 director in charge, so we're not watching it. No, Lopez won't send it. There's no point. They're through. If they stay there, they're through. They'll wait till the last lap to fight that. They'll build up a gap. It's sensible to build the gap up. This is what I want to watch.
A warning there for that incident that we saw last time around between the two. So nothing really to worry about, just a slight slap on the wrist. I have to say, though, Lopez has managed to gap these two there now as well. So have they been squabbling again, or have they made a mistake or something along the lines of that? Because Lopez has now got a second of an advantage.
I'll tell you, it all started with that contact. They gave Lopez a little bit of a run onto the straight, and that's all we needed to break the toe and then put away from these guys. And since then, they've been sort of fighting a little bit, as you said. So the gap has increased. So Baptiste Beauvoir no longer has that safety buffer down.
You have to go defensive.
Has a safety. He's having to come up attack for Mars. He's going up to the inside. Beauvoir breaks.
Oh, he braked
very
late.
to make sure there's not going to be an option for Mars.
Oh, he made it though.
Mars are just doing the old trick of getting in the mirrors. He breaks to the inside a bit. So hey, listen, I'm here. Look at me. I'm here.
Those three trophies you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Top three drivers.
Yeah, Baptiste should be quicker than Lopez in my view.
Top four will be progressing through.
Like, I'm sure Baptiste is quicker than Lopez, but I think it's more about the defending. He's probably having to defend, and that's losing him time.
So 3 laps now remain as we ride on board here with Coque Lopez, Nations Cup champion of 2022. Possible opportunity for him to.
What Baptiste needs to do is get within like 6 tenths of Lopez to get the slipstream, so he won't have to defend as much. But the problem is, Mars is only 2 tenths behind, so he can't really get. No, he can't. He's going to have to defend, isn't he? He can't just run the normal lines.
Yeah, possibility.
Exactly that. There we go. Under investigation.
Look at that.
Oh, I should get a crystal ball.
Like you know what you're doing.
Draw the lottery numbers for next week as well. While I'm at it.
No, I'm good. Not from you. Anyway, here is the battle that's been going on all race. Serrano and Coque Lopez. And again, will we see Coque Lopez just just wait.
Siddy, thank you for the 11 months, legend. No worries, Siddy. I'm glad it helped you out. Well, hopefully it helped you out in the end.
Here's a replay of what happened between Hayward and Penko.
Appreciate the 11 months. Make sure we spam that legend vote there for Siddy, please.
Oh, a little bit of moving around there on the brakes, I think, there.
He tried the key fake.
You see Hayward goes, you know what, sorry, mate, you can come through. Kawakami was like, all right, I'll have both of you then. And so does Struik as well. So actually,
I want to see that again.
Through cost them all quite a few places. And to Struik, he's now back up into P7 where he started.
Well, the advantage for those drivers is that they won't be out of contention for the repechage.
Good stuff, Siddy. Appreciate support, legend.
Versus Lopez down the start-finish straight. Lopez, once again, they're backing off. I wondered if he was going to go for the move.
He'll wait for the last lap.
To that earlier point, Penko and Hayward will be going through into the repechage, but of course this will affect their grid position. Now they've dropped a few places down, so they're going to be mile right in the pack. And, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but the repechage is going to be pretty spicy, and we reckon fairly action-packed. So let's see how that all works out. And they're
what's going on with the P8 and 9?
He's got into some more bother as he now drops down to 11th place, and Labutile up into 8th position. So there were 4 drivers all pretty close to one another. We'll have to have a look at a replay and see if we can piece together exactly what happened. But at the moment, it's Randall Hayward who is now out, and we were singing his praises not 8 laps ago, where he was right up into 6th place on the opening lap.
Yeah, the last race will be longer, SDS. This is the qualifiers. The final race will be longer. The final race should have strategy in there.
Marza, hey, he's got a penalty. Picked that up from somewhere. I missed that just now. So that's going to give Baptiste Beauvoir a little bit of breathing room now in P4. And maybe takes away.
I personally think we should have 16 drivers in these races. Like, I don't see why we're running 11 drivers. We should have 16 or 20.
Look how these guys are working together at this point. They know that it's better just to sort of over under each other. The crowd loves it. I think they're just working together at this point. But for how much longer as we now come on, Tom, to the final lap of the race? And look who's
he might go for it now.
Coque Lopez.
Well, let's see
now he'll go for it now. This is where the battle will start for P1.
2 by 2 they go, wing mirror to wing mirror in towards the first corner. Rama picking up a 2-second penalty. That's clearly what happened there.
He held it on the apex. Lovely driving from
American driver and possibly
Josetti there. He held it on the apex
tonight. But Serrano back through.
Just slowed it down. Held the position.
His best opportunity is going to be surely turn 14 into that heavy braking zone off of the back straight. He sits in the wheel tracks of his countrymen. It's going to be all about the exit out of turn 10, surely.
They want for Alex Lopez.
Gary, 11 months legend. One more to go. I actually have 13, but I had to give 2 months of P1 commission. Appreciate your support there, Gary, your legend chat. Spam that legend vote for Gary, please. Legendary support high tier. Appreciate it, Gary.
So maybe a few mistakes from Coque, and now down the back straight, I don't think he's quite close enough. He'll have the draft, he's going to get closer.
Yeah, Baptiste should be quick enough to get past Lopez, but I don't think he'll bother, or will he?
Lopez. Will he be able to make the move? He is closing slightly, but I think he's too far away, Tom.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Jim. He's going to have to settle for second best. Has a half look there to the inside, but it's not going to be a move that sticks on his compatriot there. It's going to be a drag to the line. Wiggle on the exit of 14 there for Lopez. That's surely his race run through the final couple of corners we go. What a drive from Jose
P1 and P2.
Second on the grid.
Will Baptiste get him on the line here? Will Baptiste get P3? Might be close.
2 wins for the Spanish nation.
Nah, not close enough.
Gazoo Racing GT Cup in semi-final beat. It's a Spanish 1-2-3 as well, with Coque Lopez finishing ahead of Alex Lopez. Baptiste Beauvoir is the last of the drivers to automatically qualify for the grand final. It's not over further down as well between Hayward and Penko to the timing line, and Penko just managing to get the better of the American driver. We will sadly say goodbye.
Mad Max, thank you for becoming a member, chat. Spam that legend vote there for Mad Max, please, for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate it, Mad Max. Legend. Thank you so much.
A challenge for position there, Jimmy, but it didn't work out to be for him right when it mattered.
No, not quite close enough there. A few mistakes on the last lap, I think, put pay to that chance of a victory. But tell you what, it's looking very good for the Spanish here at Barcelona. 4 of their drivers now through to the grand final automatically. So
it's a renewal. No worries, man. I still appreciate you, legend.
To be honest.
By the way, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. It all helps me out, chat. We stream every single day, so do it full time.
But also, let's not forget Alex Lopez, a name that we're not familiar with seeing in the Gran Turismo World Series up until this point. Qualified here for the Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Finished 3rd. What a great result in his first ever race.
Yeah, bro turns up and beats a lot of very established names, which I think is extremely extremely impressive and definitely a feat not to be ignored. Here are some highlights, and here's what sort of put Thomas the Boot there out of the race. A bit of contact with Kanata Kawakami, which would put him right to the back of the grid, and also catch up Josh Strix there, the Australian driver.
Yeah, screw it there with no room to go. As you see Lopez here challenging on Martin Marza. This is at the start of the second lap. It all got a bit argy-bargy, didn't it here? Three
Lake Louis is going to be probably quite funny.
Joining the party as well. At the halfway
Probably some
stage,
chaos
Serrano
in
began
that.
to show his hand, challenged Lopez for the race lead for the first time as Beauvoir and Marza went 2
I think
by
the
2
first race
and
was
around the
better
same
than
sort
that
of
one.
time as well. Beauvoir getting
I think I
ahead
enjoyed
of
the Grand Valley one
Argentinian
better than
driver.
that,
It
but
was really
still alright.
audacious racing that allowed Lopez, Alex Lopez that is, to clear off out in front. We saw a bit of
Mad Max with the black cat as well. Spam the legend over there for Mad Max, bringing the black cat to the stream. Legend, mate. Appreciate it.
It proved not to be the case, and Jose Serrano
Thank you for the support, Mad Max.
Beauvoir very nearly taking third place at the line there, but you can see great sportsmanship between the two Spanish drivers, of course. They're here together representing Spain, so amazing to see them all together. But we're going out to Jules now for our interview with
Now Podol
our
Louis.
winner, Jose Serrano.
Global warming in that.
Let's give a big round of applause. That was some amazing driving. I mean,
Let's see if we can find Matt in the audience chat. Where are you,
Spain
Matt?
was doing very well when we were in Barcelona.
Wave if you're there, Matt.
Bueno, José, que creo que España lo está haciendo un poco bien aquí en Barcelona, ¿no?
Bueno, la verdad que tanto Paul como Coque como Alex que hemos clasificado esta tarde, pues lo estamos haciendo bastante bien porque
Well, it still would
aquí
be a
estamos en
lake, wouldn't
España,
it?
es la mejor afición del mundo, así que es increíble.
So yeah,
You're right, Daya.
Already Paul, Coque, myself, and Alex already qualified for the grand final. So yeah, spectacular, and what atmosphere!
I don't. It could be Jacob. I don't know.
Incredible.
Yeah, it looked like a really comfortable race. I mean, Coque came for you like a little bit, but he didn't go too crazy, didn't push too hard.
Bueno, se os ha visto muy cómodos tanto a Coque y a ti. No parecía que te quería atacar mucho. ¿Cómo ha sido la carrera con Coque?
Bueno, al principio ha sido un poco de gestión con la distancia sobre Coque y
SCS with the black cat as well, you legend. Thank you for the support, SCS. Again, another thumbs up on Legend Mode for SCS chat. Appreciate it, SCS.
Yeah, well, at the beginning, Coque and myself tried to put a gap against the others and make a gap to stay out of trouble. But we talked before the race that after, you know, if that happened, half the race we could fight each other. And it was a nice and clean battle, but yeah, it was great.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, you know, coming fresh from Amsterdam, are you going to try and win everything this time?
Bueno, viniendo de Ámsterdam dominando, que vas a intentar ganar todo, ¿no? Claro.
Yo siempre voy a ganar, siempre. La gente lo sabe, la gente lo sabe.
English only in the chat, Jose.
To win everything as usual, no? It's my dream.
Oh, well, congratulations. Good luck in the grand final. Let's give it one more time for Jose Serrano!
¡Vamos!
Well,
That was a really good race.
huge congratulations there to Jose Serrano for taking a very well-deserved victory here tonight. Good to see that he was in cahoots there with Coque Lopez right until the checkered flag. A top three for the Spaniards in the semi-final be Serrano, Lopez, Coque that is in second, Alex Lopez in third. Beauvoir is the last of the automatic qualifiers for the grand final. In the repechage, we'll see Marza, Kawakami, Struik, Labutale, Penko and Hayward. Sadly, we will say goodbye to the Indonesian driver Rama, who will go no further here tonight.
Is it only one driver that doesn't qualify out of these races?
Semi-final B, that's done and dusted. It's history as far as we're concerned here tonight. Over to the repechage. Now, we like to throw in a few cat amongst the pigeons, and this is going to be certainly one to look forward to.
God.
Here is the starting grid, just to remind you of how it will line up. These are the 12 drivers who will go into the race, but only 4, Jimmy, will go through into the grand final.
That's right, and some very big names there. No, wasn't expecting to see Miyazono here. Marza, I think, had the pace definitely to go through into the next race as well. But a bit further down, Guy Barber there as well. Randall Hayward, although he didn't have a good semi-final, we know he likes these tricky conditions, and a few big names there you wouldn't quite expect.
Exactly. Well, if you've been playing Gran Turismo 7 over the last couple of months, you'll know that Lake Louise has joined the circuit list. This is a snow circuit, and my goodness me, are we looking forward to this. The Toyota GR Yaris is the car we're going to be on. Snow tyres, 5 laps, 4 drivers out of 12.
Mad Max, thank you very much for another dono, you legend. Chat again, thumbs up on Legend Mode there for Mad Max. Appreciate your support, Legend.
It's going to be
This is going to be funny.
It's a very, very tricky circuit, and I think given that these guys are going to be racing each other, it's probably a decent idea that we maybe look into it a little bit more detail. I actually drove this recently myself in preparation for this event, and I got to say, it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? We're really looking forward to seeing what is going to happen over the course of this race, but to see just how difficult these conditions are, we sent this guy out to have a look and find out what it's all about.
Yeah, so welcome to Lake Louise, a very, very tricky circuit. Snow is not a surface I'm used to driving on.
So you hit them green bollards and you'll get a penalty.
So T1, very, very long right-hander. You want to stay on the outside, carry that momentum. Ignore this guy, Jay Broadbent, I don't know who he is, but
that's a penalty,
across the inside. You want to stay outside as long as possible, carry all that speed, and really prioritize traction. Speaking of traction, the middle sector here, all about using that camber. We're going to come around this right-hander here, and you're going to see basically a wall of snow in front of you, and because we have such little grip in this car, even with the four-wheel drive on the snowy surface, it's important to use the camber to hook the car in and give you almost a slingshot on the way out there, really using that four-wheel drive. These guys are not allowed to use the handbrakes in this, so rotating.
Do you know what fun does? It annoys me that they get like the helicopter camera. Why is that camera not in the game? We should have an option for the helicopter camera. That helicopter camera should be on every track and available to us, because yeah, why not? It'd be way better to have that, like the iRacing one.
A massive run down the straight. Any mistake, any lack of speed you carry through here is going to run all the way down towards T1. So
Chris, welcome to the base tier, legend. Chat, another thumbs up and legend vote there for Chris for joining the base tier. Thank you so much for doing that, legend. Appreciate it, Chris.
Guys here. I think I did okay. I did all right.
Jimmy, we've both owned a GR Yaris. You've still got your GR
Yaris. I think it'd look good on a lot of tracks. Imagine like Nordschleife as well.
In the UK at the moment, I just
think it'd look a really good camera. I don't know why we don't get that. They can clearly do it.
Three-cylinder engine producing over 260 horsepower. Four-wheel drive as well. It is an absolute pocket rocket, a rally car for the road in every sense of the term.
Yeah, all for the snow, as it turns out here, of course, at Lake Louise. Now, imagine doing that on your own. Then imagine sharing the circuit with a whole bunch of other Gran Turismo elite drivers. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are about ready then to go for the...
Get ready for chaos, chat.
Let's head over to our commentary box, because we need to get ready for this one.
This could be quite funny.
12 drivers in the frame.
How many penalties do we reckon, chat?
Let's see what is going to happen for our last
chance to qualify
the
How many penalties?
Don't forget, you can join us in any of the 7 languages which we're broadcasting in here tonight as well. We're in French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and Japanese, as well as here in English as well. Looking forward to seeing what the other commentators are going to make.
It's going to be a lot of penalties.
I'm sure it is going to be hugely exciting as the drivers are ready, and we are now ready for
it's going to be funny, yeah. I'm quite looking forward to this.
Lake Louise.
How many laps is it?
Zono, who lines this one up on pole position. Alongside on the front row is Martin Marza. Second row of the grid is headed by Lucas Pinelli, the Brazilian. Next up, you've got Kanata Kawakami, very unlucky in his semi-final. Eddie Hafidi, the Frenchman, lines up P5. Next up on the grid is Joshua Struick, also unlucky in that second semi-final. Busnelli lining up in 7th position. Then you've got Thomas Leboutelet, the second of the Frenchmen, on the grid. Guy Barbara, the Australian, lines up P9. Rounding out the top 10 is Daniel Penko. And the final row of the grid.
It's a bit harsh to do it in this kind of comment, because some people will be shy at this compared to road racing.
The only standing start we've got of the event. Let's see what's going to happen here at Lake Louise. We're waiting for the 5 red lights to come on. The Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup Revanche race. Go! Good start then from Takuma Miyazono.
All right, Tom, calm down, mate. Jesus Christ.
Behind him, keep an eye out for Lucas Pinelli.
Got a headset on here, mate.
Chaos, I'm sure, down towards the first corner. There's already contact there with Hafidi and Kawakami and Struick as well as they come down towards the first corner. Oh, look at this as we go through on board. It's going to be Miyazono. Struick going for the high line on the outside. Marza off into the snowbank there, and Struick already with a 1.5 second penalty for riding the wall on the outside. Pick your braking point in towards
Hey, Zach, I didn't know you were there.
But a dream start from the front for Takuma Miyazono. He leads the way.
Predictably, absolute chaos at T1 there. We couldn't quite keep out of all of it. We'll try and bring some of it to be good, but Miyazono, as you say, in the right place there, ahead of all the carnage, is able to keep ahead. And the stewards there just saying, and get that whole first corner. We're going to look at that, I think, because it's oh, what an awesome shot that is. All these Yarises coming in sideways there on the inside. Hafidi trying the inside line through past Kindell, up into 5th place. Guy Barbara there in 4th as well. That's where he wants to be. That'll put him through to the final. And Penko there making a bold move on Hafidi. So it seems that right now it's every man for himself in the midfield. But if you can get away from this, if you can get away from the squabbling, that's where the time's going to come, I think.
So through in towards this long.
It's hard to overtake as well, isn't it? Because everyone's sliding through the corners.
On the inside of the Spaniard, is he going to be able to do that and join his
Medi's up to P5, chat. Medi's up to P5.
Along the long way around the outside, and that works. You can ride the outside of this circuit and manage to get just as much traction as you might do on the inside.
Oh, they're all hitting the wall.
Into the wall on the outside as we come through into the left-hander.
This is quite fun.
Putting out already 2 seconds before the end of this first lap. That's quite astonishing from the Japanese.
Why now? I wanted to watch that race there.
He picked up a 1.5-second penalty, threading the over needle. We're 4 wide down to the
first he got hit.
Go all the way to the wall on the outside.
He got hit.
He picked up that 1.5-second penalty. He gets awarded automatically in game because he gained an unfair advantage there.
He got hit.
He's scrabbling for grip on the inside of the corner.
I don't agree with that. He got pushed into the barrier by the guy behind him, and he couldn't afford it.
That's not fair.
But unfortunately, as you say, Tom, it is an automatic system there, and Penko there.
Why did they not turn wall penalties off and then judge it by?
So, the stewards there taking a dim view of all this contact that's happened so far, but you know, it's one of these races where it's this is a lot harder than it looks just to drive around on its own. Imagine doing it and fighting for position in an event of this caliber here. For
why would you not turn wall penalties off and then judge it by the stewards?
Third place, what a result so far.
Why would they not have thought of that?
To keep it right
oh, dear.
The Boutelet in front just about.
Oh, he's going to hit him. He's going to hit him.
Oh, my word. They come so close here to contact every corner. It really is a difficult circuit, this.
This long left-hander reminds me of the banked corner at Zandvoort, you know, where they ride it high around the outside through there. You can see Boutelet trying that line. Now Barbara is on the back of Benelli, side by side with Benelli. This is quite inspired as Boutelet picks up a 1-second penalty. We're side by side for second place here. He's going to go the long way around the outside there. Is Guy Barbara. Can he make it stick and find traction on the outside of the corner? Well, he's certainly sliding his way through.
Oh, that is nice.
Absolute cream and almonds for him as he goes up into second.
What a race this is from Guy Barbara. I mean, we've seen him do well at events in the past, but right now he's putting on an absolute clinic. A great race for him so far. It's him and Benelli almost coming to blows there, having to just tip the car into the corner. You have to kind of predict where the car's going to end up after you turn in on this snow circuit. It's very, very tricky conditions out there for these guys, but some just showing their ability. Miyazono 3.5 seconds ahead of anyone, and those who may be a bit more learned at these tricky conditions are now really starting to show their talent. Guy Barbara there and Benelli just about seeing
Miyazono's just in a different league, isn't he?
Cars massively sideways. I think Benelli there touched the wall, trying a little bit too hard.
Are they allowed to go all the way wide there? Because on the MTT event we had, we weren't allowed to do that because you get a penalty for hitting the bollard.
So that will cost Benelli just a fraction of time as he slides his way through. The thing is, it can often look like he's setting up a move for the inside line, but that's just the difference in lines that they take through these series of corners. On board we ride here with the Brazilian driver, Guy Barbara it is, who sits in second place for the moment. Penalties behind for the two Frenchmen of Hafidi and Boutelet.
Can Medi get up to P4 though?
Well, I was going to say that if Benelli is clever, he's not going to fight with Barbara now because they've both got very, very similar pace and they've got a gap behind them. They're both going to go through the funnel this way. I know it's going to be a slightly worse grid slot for Benelli, but what is worse than that? Colliding with Barbara and then
I think Barbara's quicker. I think he's quicker. He's taking them wide lines that we saw that are really quick.
Who's in a different postcode compared to everybody else as it stands. There is Marza, who is behind in 4th position. Under investigation are Mehdi Hafidi and Martin Marza then. So I wonder whether there may be another penalty coming the way of one of those riders.
No, Medi's got Mehdi might get a penalty
of that instant, but there's plenty of opportunity for the stewards to try and work out exactly what is going on.
This is the repechage. This is the knockout.
Miyazono, and this has been something of an exhibition of a drive for the Japanese driver who leads the way quite commandingly and has done since the lights went green.
See, they're just really perfecting that exit, and I've got to say, looking at the time of the Guy Barbara is catching Miyazono. It's taken half a second out of him since I last saw the gap.
Erwin, thank you for the 16 months, legend. Chat again. Another legend emote there for Erwin and a thumbs up. Thank you for the long-term support, mate. Appreciate it, Erwin. And Ali as well. Thank you for the 14 months, legend. Spam that legend mode, chat. And Deadeye with the gifted. It's 3 in a row, legend. Spam the the legend up there for Deadeye as well, please, chat. Thank you so much for the gifted, Deadeye, you legend.
He's made up.
You know what to do, chat. Get that legend about out for them. Crazy. 3 in a row.
And let's see whether he can continue in that ascension through the field. If he can close up into the back of Miyazono, the gap has now increased to over 4 seconds between the top two. As we look here at Daniel Penko, he picked up a penalty earlier on. He's got Labutele in front, he's got Busnelli behind, as well as Kindle, who also in turn has got a red dot flashing its within. So that is a penalty for the American driver. So plenty of things to talk about here in this race, and it's on the penultimate lap already.
I love that shot. I mean, I know there's people coming towards the penalties, which is always a little bit scary.
Penalties everywhere. How many penalties have we had? I've lost count. I don't know.
Not quite given up just yet. It is only the top
so Mehdi didn't get a penalty, but P4 did.
That is their event done.
So Mehdi's through, chat. Mehdi might. Does Mehdi qualify if he finishes in P4 there? I think he does. Go on, Mehdi.
The conditions well, it seems. Here is Hafidi, who's currently in the last spot, having a fight with Martin Marza, who's lost that last spot there. So I think maybe a mistake there.
Come on, hold it. This is going to be spicy, this, between these two.
Marza is going to be able to try and retaliate. He goes for that long way around the outside. Can he make that stick? Oh, he's got great traction through the second phase of that corner. He's going to go through to the right-hander with the inside line. And is he going to be able to hold firm? Well, Hafidi's there on his outside. Marza's got the inside line and manages to make it stick.
Oh, what a move, chat.
With an absolutely brilliant couple of corners, going up through into fourth position. Can
send it back.
Retaliate as we begin the final lap as they come down the start-finish straight. The Frenchman here on the inside, Marza on the outside. They're 2x2 into turn one. Who's going to be last of the late breakers to get optimum traction? Well, Hafidi with the inside line, and the Frenchman back through into fourth for now. But Marza with the up and under, trying to retaliate immediately.
There's contact.
There was contact there on the exit, and I think that he tried, as you say, to go for the undercut, but
this is good.
Sat on the line, and Marza had nowhere to go there. But very, very good racing here for the last spot in the grand final.
Affilian's catching up as well there. If these two have an incident, Affilian could grab it.
And Marza been on the outside for a long time behind them. It's a pretty big gap. But I think I say that now on the outside, Marza looking for the
he's going to cut back.
The earlier apex and try and get to the end of the corner before Hafidi, but good defensive driving with Hafidi so far. There's not really many more slots that Marza could go for an overtake here.
Yeah, there's still a couple of opportunities here for
the last corner where he did it before, maybe.
Trying to build out enough of an advantage to stop Marza from attacking him as they come through into the final series of corners. This long right-hander awaits the drivers. No need to worry about the likes of Labutele and Busnelli behind. As
Affilian's getting closer there,
actually. Position for now. Meanwhile, through
I think Mehdi's got this.
Comes the race leader, Takuma Miyazono. 6.2 seconds he has as he exits the last turn over 5 laps. That is an astonishing achievement as Takuma Miyazono takes the checkered flag to win the repechage.
Look how far ahead he is in 5 laps, chat. 5 laps.
Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Guy Barbara makes 7 places up from where he started to take second position. Lucas Bonelli will come across the timing line in third place, and it is Mehdi Hafidi.
Mehdi gets P4, takes the last qualifier.
Into the grand
insane drive by Miyazono there, chat. That's crazy.
We will not see any more of here this evening, but what a quite brilliant race from Takuma Miyazono. An absolute
serious pace
exhibition from Miyazono. Exactly
6 seconds in 5 laps from P2, chat.
In years gone by, 2020, if you remember, he managed to do the triple in terms of the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup, the Manufacturers Cup, and also the Nations Cup. And now he's managed to get himself into the grand final tonight with an amazing performance.
Yeah, I mean, just showing why he's such an accomplished GT driver. But of course, big shout out to Guy Barbara, +7 in that race. And I saw him go over the line, arms in the air. He was very, very happy with that performance. Bonelli in third, and our last qualifier, Hafidi there in fourth position. Here are your highlights. So T1, I think it's fair to say, was
he wasn't fighting, true.
Yeah, it certainly was that. That was an understatement. Look at it, 5 wide arms to Busnelli. We didn't see. We saw his arms waving in the air. So it was Labutele that got into the back of Strix then. And that's what caused all the chaos that unfolded behind. Kawakami got biffed round there too. So the stewards were keeping themselves busy. Busnelli just wrong place, wrong time.
That was savage.
No idea what he said there, but I think it was, I didn't enjoy that. Which I
think something gesticulating in Italian, I think, but it was exactly what happened there. Marza, meanwhile, versus Hafidi. We saw this in the battle for the last spot to qualify for the grand final. That up and over move
bit unlucky that, wasn't it?
Quite spectacular, but what a drive. I'm running up superlatives to talk about Takuma Miyazono.
It was a bit unlucky for
by some
Marco
6 seconds over the emphatic Guy Barbara. He'll be delighted with that one, the Australian, after making 7 places up from his starting position on the grid. So Miyazono, Barbara, Benelli, Hafidi go through into the grand final. Marza tried as hard as he could, but it's not good enough, I'm afraid to say. Labutale, Penko, Busnelli, Kawakami, Kindle, Struick, and Hayward will go no further here tonight. JB, any big surprises of names that didn't make it through there?
I think obviously Marza is a big one for us. I
So
think he had a lot of speed in.
Is it the last race now, isn't it? The final? I presume it'll be like a 40-minute race, something like that, 40 minutes. Should have strategy in it as well with like different tyres. At Cataluna, hopefully they've turned the slipstream off. Well, not off, but made it so you can follow.
Is our winner. He is down on the floor talking to Jules.
Well, just before I speak to Takuma Miyazono, can I just say, everybody who makes the decisions about these things, now
I haven't been on it yet, Gary. I haven't been on it.
Spicy, but you put them all on snow? That was madness, but we loved it. Can I just say, can we give a massive round of applause to Takuma Miyazono for winning? Because I have to tell you, about 60 minutes ago, he was asleep on a couch backstage. You were asleep.
ソファーの上でいやあのおかげで今回、はい、敗者復活戦なんですけど優勝できたかなと思うので、まあちゃんと休憩したおかげもあったのかなと思います。
Yeah, I think that nap actually gave me the strength to win the repertoire, so I think that was good that I got some rest there.
Nah, not yet, Susie.
I have to say,
the old game did.
To see you in the
on Dirt Rally 2, they had rallycross tracks with like online multiplayer. It was really good.
You shouldn't have been in there. That was a beautiful drive.
いや普通だったらレペチャージなんかに今園さんが走るなんて全然思ってなかったんですけど、でもまあレペチャージの走りを見たらやっぱり宮園さんはやっぱりレペチャージにいるべきじゃないドライバーだなと思いました。
いや本当は、準決勝勝ってこうやってインタビュー受けたかったんですけど、まあただすごくこの組み合わせが好きでずっと練習していてすごい自信もあったんで、本当に、勝ててよかったなと思います。
Yeah, so I mean, I should have gone from the semifinal directly to the grand final, but I really like this track and I practice it quite a bit. So I'm glad I was able to do well and win.
Yeah. And this is the first time we've had Lake Louise in the. So it was your track. This was your day.
じゃあもうレイクリリース入ったばっかりのコースなんで、もう準備万端でもう絶対勝てるとは思ってたんですね。
はい。でもちょっとねボーア選手がすごい速かったので、彼がいたら厳しかったかもしれないんですけど、まあでも決勝でまた戦えるのですごい楽しみにしてます。
Erwin, thank you very much for the £2 legend. Wish you all a good December month. Kian chat. Appreciate it, Erwin. Chat again. Spam that legend out there for Erwin, please. Thank you so much, legend.
In the grand final.
Most importantly, though, was it fun?
楽しいですかでもこのコースって。
いやすごい楽しかったんでちょっとこう敗者復活戦に回ったのはすごい残念だったんですけど、正直ちょっと走れて楽しいなっていう気持ちもありました。
Yeah, so it's extremely fun, and it's kind of unfortunate that I have to come up from the repertoire, but it was fun to do it, so it's okay.
Well, congratulations. Let's give Takuma a massive round of applause. Are you ready to see the grand final? Yes. Let's chuck it to Tom and Jimmy.
Cheers, they're as excited as we are here in the comms box. An amazing race. Huge congratulations to Takuma Miyazono from an incredible performance. The grand final, though, awaits our 12 drivers, and here is how they will line up on the grid. Paul Ura, Jose Serrano on the front row, Cockburn Lopez on row 2,
quite far back,
and Alex Lopez on
Spain.
row 3.
Look at Spain, 4 of the top 6.
Takuma Miyazono, Guy Barbara on row 5, and then row 6 is Lucas Benelli and Mehdi Hafidi. What do you make of that one, JB?
It's looking pretty good if you're a Spaniard here tonight, I think, isn't it? So here's our circuit. Of course, it had to be. We're racing at Catalunya, no chicane, the correct layout, might I add. And look at the car, it's Toyota GR010 hybrid from 2021. What a machine, 23 laps, a bit more of an endurance style race, this one, with lots of tyre compounds to choose from, but only 2 need to be used.
23 laps.
Well, no one's going to use the hard tyres then, are they?
Interesting to see that strategy is going to come into play for the first time here tonight in terms of the tyres as well.
Surely no one's going to use the hard tyres.
Of the tyre compounds, and very excited to see what what this is all going to be about. This is the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, just a stone's throw away from where we are here in the centre of Barcelona, and it is an incredible circuit. There's only a few overtaking opportunities though. You got down into T1 and you got down into T10 though, really, so drivers are going to have to bide their time quite carefully, I reckon.
Yeah, especially in these downforce-based cars, this prototype, there's going to be a lot of dirty air in this, so it's all about, as you say, biding your time, choosing your opportunities wisely, and not burning those tyres up. Really easy to do that when you're following someone so closely.
Absolutely. Well, let's meet our drivers then for the grand final here tonight. They're ready, 12 of them, to take to the stage. Only one will be crowned as the world champion, though. Please give it up from France. It's Mehdi Hafidi. The Frenchman takes his place on the stage here in Barcelona. And we shift our attention over to the man who will be lining up 11th on the grid. Give it up from Brazil. It's Lucas Pinelli.
I love the smoke effect when they're walking out, chat.
After a quite incredible performance in the repechage race from Australia.
It reminds me of Stars in Their Eyes back in like the 90s or 80s, whenever it was. You need to come out dressed up.
A dominant win in the repechage race just a few moments ago sees him through for the grand final. From Japan, it's Takuma Miyazono. Lining up 8th on the grid, please give it up from France. It is Baptiste Beauvoir.
He's got a tough job there from P8. I don't. He might be a little bit too far behind. Oh. Bit awkward, isn't it, chat?
A newcomer to the Gran Turismo World
Awkward
Series.
freeze for him there. A little bit awkward, that freeze on the stream.
It's Kalen Roach. And I'm sure the Spanish crowd here are going to love this. Next up, from Spain, give it up for Alex Lopez. Lining up 5th on the grid in the grand final for the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Please give it up from Brazil for Adriano Carrazza.
I don't think he's very happy with starting.
4th on the grid here tonight for the grand final from Spain. It is Coque Lopez.
Did Franco not try and qualify for the Toyota Cup either? I presume he didn't.
And now we move into our top 3. Please give it up from Japan. It is Ryota Kokumu.
Tom needs to stop shouting so loud on that mic. It's distorting. It's too loud.
And now then, the top 2 drivers who will be lining up on the grid.
Oh no, the mic's... Is it me or is their mic gone a bit funny?
From Spain, it's Jose Serrano.
Yeah, I know he's got real life stuff. I just thought he might have... he probably would have qualified fairly easily.
And last, but by no means...
No, Mikhail didn't qualify for anything. He didn't try.
Give it your all for Paul Yura! And now, ladies and gentlemen, your respect, please, for the national anthem of our host nation here in Spain.
Okay, Smell. The, one of the live events. It will play my game. Yeah. These are like the fastest drive. That's some of the fastest people in the game. Do you think you could... I think you could beat these. Do you know why? I think you just wipe... You'd roll their cars, you'd wipe them into the walls. You'd be really good at beating these. Although some of them will give you some back though.
The national anthem of Spain.
Oh, what's happened there? Watch the race. We're gonna watch the race with us. So it'd be interesting with tyre strategy of what tyres people start. I'm sure, surely it's a one-stop race.
If you have just joined us,
Pit lane loss will be too high.
Gran Turismo World Series World Finals in 2023.
No,
it is the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup as well. What a city this is! What an atmosphere we've got here.
Can't believe there'll be a two-stop.
Jimmy Broadbent,
it's far too long in the pits.
Spectacular races so far. This grand final can only make things better, surely.
Yeah, we saved the best for last. If you just joined now, I mean, you missed some good racing, but
what
you're
free
here
car?
at the right time.
You don't.
Amazing.
You only, all you have to do, chat, to get any free content is after the stream or even tomorrow, whenever that you can do it on the weekend. You just click the live event in game and then back out again. You don't have to watch it. You just click it and then back out, and it'll give you whatever there is for free. Yeah, no free cars in this stream.
Welcome.
Yeah, great to be back here, and yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
to
time
all
6
the
tyre
drivers,
wear, so
and, especially all the fans creating such a atmosphere. So
I would think medium and soft.
Yeah, really impressive.
Group 1 car should do what?
What have you thought of the driving here today? Like the races
7
so
or
far?
8? I don't know. It should do.
From our drivers?
Yeah,
I don't know
the
how many laps the soft will do.
Intense and close, and was really exciting to watch. And yeah, I mean, it shows you know, the skills of the drivers, level of the drivers are so high. So I'm really impressed.
Talk to us a little bit about some of Toyota Gazoo's like activities that they've been doing this year. They've been doing some good stuff.
Actually, for Toyota Gazoo Racing, it was a great year this year. We have won WRC, WEC, World Rally Championship, even Super GT, Super Formula. So we have won many different championships. So it has been great, and it's really great to finish the year with this event, and let's hope that we will have a great race.
It's always good when you list all the good things. Like you have to go like, okay, so there's this, there's this. You know, it's not just one thing. How so boring. I know you guys have done a lot for your driver development program, and obviously there are a lot of drivers here who, you know, be like, oh hey.
It'll be interesting whether.
I really think this platform.
It's about 30 with a tyre change. It's probably going to be about 30 what, 34, 35 seconds pit lane loss. But I'm not sure if they're going to have to put fuel in. I don't know what was the fuel rate in this. 23 laps. If there's fuel in it,
you know, the talent like him from here. So yeah, it's a good possibility, opportunity for the
surely
future.
it'll be a one-stop, probably soft to medium. But I wonder if someone might try and do something different. I don't know.
Do you think it's a good thing? Is it quite nice because it means you have like a bigger pool of talent? It's not, you know, you can bring people from all over the world, from anywhere, right?
I think it's really true.
Times 2.
I really see all the drivers.
Shouldn't be a problem with fuel then, should it?
As well. So
I don't think
it's
so.
All about,
46 laps
gaming,
should be all right for
real driving. It's going
if
on
it's
here,
times 1 or times 2, there's no issue with fuel.
We have
it's
so
just
many
tyres,
good drivers, talents, and it's such a great race to find a new talent.
What would be a little bit of advice you would give to our drivers? Do you have any advice? What's your top tips, you know?
Well, yeah, the car they will drive is GL010, which is something I used to drive, and we run this car in World Endurance Championship. But we, never run this car at Barcelona, so probably they know better than me. So I really hope that they will basically enjoy the hypercar, they will enjoy the race, and they will hope that they have a great race and enjoy the pressure.
Is this your fave car? Is this your favorite?
It's a nice car, and also I like the track as well. So it's a nice track. So it's long race. So
Nakajima-san's going to be watching, guys. So be really good. Is the point? Be really, really good. Nakajima-san, thank you so much for talking to us. Let's get this underway, shall we? Come on.
Amazing to hear there from Kazuki Nakajima. The
Cheese on
Toyota
wheels.
GR010 hybrid then, a twin-turbo hybrid car, all-wheel drive, 670 horsepower, 1,040 kilograms. JB, the numbers don't do this thing justice.
This is the goal, isn't it? For anyone who's into endurance-style racing, this sort of car is the absolute peak. Capable of insane acceleration and insane efficiency as well. These things will go for, you know, this run 24 hours Le Mans numerous times, and it's just one of these one of his cars that I always get a little bit dumbfounded by when I see it. Which I'm like, whoa,
Well, we
scary.
mentioned it a little bit earlier on. We're talking about strategy, and of course, tyre strategy comes into play for this race. They've got to use at least two of the
see
tyre
what the,
compounds. This is what
I think
we're predicting. Oh, I say what we're predicting. What the team at Polyphony have predicted for this one. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go that way. What do you reckon is going to happen here?
I don't think we're going to see a two-stop, first of all. I think a one-stop's going to be the way to go. I mean, because you have to think with pit stops, the more pit stops you make...
If you can do 7 or 8 laps on the softs, you can do more than that on the mediums.
Pit line penalties
straight away.
Here, the
Long
PT,
pit lane loss. So
World Series events, as there should be. But I think we'll see the usual game of the racing
hard
hard
that.
tyre.
No, I mean, you can clearly do 9 laps on the softs because they're saying it there. So if you can do 9 laps on the softs, you can do... It'll be. I reckon they'll do soft and mediums for the finish chart, personally. I don't think they have the strategy on there that they might do. Because if you can do 9 laps on the softs, you can do 14. They'll do 14 on the mediums. So that'll be a one-stop race, soft to medium. Like they'll probably start on mediums, wait for the fuel to drop, and then go on to the softs for the last thing. That's what I'm predicting, chat. I'm predicting someone will start on the soft mediums, go to like lap 14, and then do 9 laps on the 9 or whatever laps on the soft, or lap 13 and try longer on the softs.
12 drivers going head-to-head, the best in the world in the Toyota GR010. Let's see what
tyres they're on. I don't think you'll see many people on hard tyres.
On pole position. Jose Serrano on the
You'll lose too much time in a car like this as well on hard tyres.
Lining up P3 on the grid at the head.
That was Matt in the crowd, I missed him.
The Spaniard Coque Lopez to the rapturous applause of the crowd, lining up P4 with Adriano Carrazza alongside him. Alex Lopez, P6 on the grid. Next up is Roach, the American driver. Let's see what Kalen can do from there. 8th place, Baptiste Beauvoir. He knows a thing or two about fighting.
Maybe someone at the back might try something different with strategy, but
lines up alongside him.
Surely it's medium tyre start at the start and then go on to the softs at the end.
11th position and 12th, and finally on the grid, it is Mehdi Hafidi from France.
So yeah, look, no one's on the hard tyre. No one's going hard, chat. That's because it's going to be a soft and medium one-stop.
Will be penalised if they cross the white line. We've seen that happen before.
We did mention that as well. Just before we came into our little cubicle here, the box, commentary box, and Paul Ura and Jose Serrano sort of stating their intentions, saying, you know what, we're going to go fast early and try and build a gap. And I think that Ura will be happy to see Serrano behind has gone for the same strategy. It means he's got a little bit of a rear gunner, and it means that these guys are hopefully going to play the sensible game, get into space on their own, and make their last stint all the more easy. There is Jose Serrano, there is Paul Ura. Massive pressure here in front of a home crowd. Will it deliver? Find out in 23 laps.
Absolutely. Whatever happens here, we're going to be crowning our world champion. Will it be a new champion? Last year, it was Igor Fraga. He's not here tonight. The year before, Tomoaki Yamanaka. Let's see what will happen when the lights go green. 12 drivers going head-to-head, but only one can be crowned as the world champion is the Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Let's see how long. It'll be interesting to see how long Paul goes on the soft tyres. Remember, he'll have heavy fuel, so he might even go 8. He might do 9. Let's see if he gets 9 out of the softs. Dead softs will be just as quick as fresh hards. That's the problem that PD obviously haven't realised there.
5th place, as you would expect, the top two breaking away from Cockburn and Lopez in 3rd.
They're trying to get away from the pack, aren't they? These two at the front.
Let's see whether Carrazza decides to get his elbows out in towards.
I would think Serrano will be quicker, you know, in this car at this track.
It's a little bit less frantic at the start as people try and just be nice and careful. Carrazza has made up a place though, up to P4, using that soft tyre. Now
Mirzano's got to try and get through the field, doesn't he?
The middle part of the circuit.
Yeah, so
Mirzano P8 needs to get through past the medium runners.
Turn 9 of Kamsa and then in towards turn 10. That's a good overtaking opportunity. Carrazza will have a lot more mid-corner speed with that soft compounded tyre on board. He really needs to make hay whilst the sun shines.
I don't think fuel's an issue.
Right-hander down the back straight, under investigation. Guy Barber and Takuma Miyazono for a collision on this opening lap. Further back, Miyazono making a move there on Roach. Carrazza not able to make a pass though on Cockburn for 3rd, as the top two already.
Looks like you can follow though, because Osetti's only 3/10 behind and he's not really losing much in the corner, so it looks like they've got custom slip on.
We say it a lot of the time, if you're stuck behind someone on the slower compounded tyre, as Carrazza is, he's just burning the life out of that soft compound of tyres. So I suspect we'll see a move down towards T1 here. He's in the draft. Now look at the speed, nearly 300 kilometers an hour as you go down towards T1. It's 190 mile an hour we're approaching now. Hard on the anchors, past Kokeman like he's standing still. Lopez fancies to go as well. Looks
close.
up the inside there, but not quite close enough to make that move stick.
So, Guy Barber giving you a warning there for colliding with another car. That was the incident that we saw under investigation a few moments ago between himself and Takuma Miyazono, but a slap on the wrist there for the Australian who sits down.
We might get this race to do in game, mightn't we? I hope so. This will be an alright little race.
On the back of Ryota Kokeman. Keep an eye out for Miyazono, who's had a great ascension through the field. 3 places up from where he started.
There is no rain, Owen. There's no rain at this track. Can't rain.
Mincemeat of the likes of Lopez and Kokeman in front, but the thing is he needs to wait for the right opportunity. You can't just go and send it up the inside through into this chicane.
Bit of the back as well with Miyazono. Good start for him so far. Isn't that
hey, the little one sat here watching and she just went, I want there to be dirty driving.
And, like the rest of the field, we always say
she wants to see dirty driving.
Aggressive, and he's doing that right now. Past Coca Lopez in one corner, winning at Kokeman 2 for 1 there. But Takuma Miyazono, better contact though with Ryota Kokeman, his fellow countryman. So the stewards might look at that, but Miyazono not messing around. He's now in pursuit of Karatsa in front, and even after
Miyazono's got through really quick there.
In 9th position, he's now only about 3.5
So that's why Miyazono started on the soft tyre, get himself
into
away from the medium runners.
And now he's going to sort of not necessarily hit a brick wall, but a rate of progress will slow for Takuma Miyazono because every driver in front of him, Karatsa, Serrano, and Yura.
I'm interested to see the tyre wear at like the 3 or 4 lap mark.
Not be quite as quick as Lopez there with Kokeman going down the start-finish straight. So Lopez into 5th place, Kokeman into 6th position, both while picking up a penalty behind. Can't quite see exactly what that's for. One would assume track limits because we didn't see anything flashing up on the screen. Benelli and Hafidi are under investigation here for colliding with another car. Just a reminder, there are 3 tyre compounds available. You've got the medium, the hards, and the softs. They must use at least 2 of the tyre compounds available. Will they do a 2-stopper? Will it be just the 1-stopper? It's going to be really tricky.
Surely they're going to do a soft to medium or medium to soft.
And you would expect that these tyres are not going to be able to go the distance for too much longer. What's the time multiplier? Times 6. So 1 lap is the equivalent to 6. They're going to be starting to wear out within about 3 or 4 laps or so.
This is the thing. This is the thing with this sort of racing. When you get to really pushing these downforce cars, you can really use the tyre effectively at the start of a stint, but because of the amount of force that goes through these tyres, especially in the heavy braking
I could do with seeing the telemetry on the tyre wear just to see what the wear's like after 3 laps. Then we'll be able to tell you how long they'll go.
Now they're sort of making the most of the fact that tyre can do this and pushing hard now. So everybody else in the medium compound tyre, same sort of thing, but they want to try and
show us the wear on the tyre. They've got the dates. Why aren't they showing it? Show us it.
So you can have a fast finish at the end. Will they be able to just do a 1-stop though, medium to soft? I do wonder. It's going to be quite tight, I think.
I think they'll do a 1-stop. Medium to soft to soft to medium, surely.
Where he is now. He's into 12th place, right at the back of the field by some 1.7 seconds. So clearly,
no one's going to 2-stop this because it's a 30-odd second pit lane loss. No one's going to do that.
Come undone at this particular stage, but it's still very early in this race. Still plenty of time.
Oh, they do someone. They do show tyre wear, and they do. I've seen it a few times. They always show like the tyre wear and stuff. Where they used to on GT Sport, they used to give like a little telemetry of the tyre wear and the fuel left. It's always do that.
Parts of the races, that's where it can get quite exciting because different drivers will pick.
The problem with Serrano being in P2 is trying to save his tyres is difficult because he's got that a little bit of dirty air from pole in front of him.
Races with this car, that when the tyres really start to get worn, I mean the car handles like a little bit of an elephant. It's all over the place, you know. It's moving around. So especially on this soft compound, and they'll be burning through that quickly. We do have some tyre.
They're still way quicker than the mediums on these softs after 4 laps.
Don't let anyone know, but if you've just joined us, great starts there from Adriano Karatsa and Takuma Miyazono, up 2 and 5 places respectively.
Oh yeah, it's a replay.
Here? So I think we're looking back these both right. 8th is Miyazono. Miyazono there, forcing his way by Lopez. Will that be a penalty, do you think?
I wonder. It was sort of on the limit, wasn't it? There was a smattering of contact. He didn't push Lopez out too wide, but it was a bit of a forceful move, and I wonder whether the stewards might be having a little look at that. Didn't see anything flash up on the screen.
No, they always show the tyre wear in the fuel. They normally show it. Every event I've ever watched, they show it.
Meanwhile, Jose Serrano managing to keep the gap at a constant between himself and his compatriot Paul Ura at about 0.4 of a second. You can see there, Baptiste Beauvoir, the Catalonia circuit.
The soft tyres will drop everyone because they're obviously on the soft tyres. So, in all honesty, Lopez is doing a really good job there. On the medium tyres, he's only 2 seconds behind me as Arno chat. So,
it is tricky.
In all honesty, Lopez is in a very, very good position where he is right now, I would say. I think Lopez at the end could be quite dangerous coming through on the soft.
Interesting driving faces, Baptiste, isn't he?
He's catching flies if he keeps his mouth open too much longer.
That's a concentration face if I've ever seen one. Reminds me of Peter Solberg.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
I'll see. Meanwhile,
no, it is tyres. I think Lopez is in a very good position here now,
doing what they need to do. Nice and calm and not fighting. I think that time
right, they've still got 54% tyres. Look, they can do 9 laps here, chat.
This is what we were talking about earlier on with this using the tyre. Miyazono, who's come through the field, has used substantially more of those front tyres than the guys in front of him.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Serrano there sitting pretty with 54% of his front
Serrano's got the best tyres here. He's going to be able to do 9 laps on them, surely, because he's nearly finished 5 now. Yeah, so he's going to do 9 laps on the soft, and then they're going to do 14 laps on the medium. That's my prediction here. 9 soft, 14 on medium.
You're just not going to be able to find any grip.
Lopez is going for a 2-stop. So Lopez is going for a 2-stop.
Now, what's he going to go on to? Will it be the soft for his middle stint? That's an early stop, especially on.
He's going to go for a 2-stop. He's going to do. That's an unusual strategy.
I'd be interested to see if this is. I mean, we've sort of nicknamed this a long time ago. Was it Spa 2018 or 2019 in Las Vegas?
It's a long pit lane loss.
Do something a bit wild.
I don't think that's going to work.
So maybe.
I don't think that's going to work.
Importantly now for Lopez, look in front of him. Nobody there, completely clear air. So what he can do now is just effectively hop that, use the most of that soft.
I don't think that's going to work. I don't know. We'll see. Unless they've changed the pit stops. Unless they've changed the pit stop distance for this, I don't know. 16 seconds behind. Where was Lopez when he pitted?
Yep, so he has completed what he needed to.
I don't know where he was when he pitted.
They're not going to make it to the end of the race. I mean, look at the drivers who started this race on the soft compound tyre. I'm looking at the likes of Paul Ura, Jose Serrano. Those tyres after just 6 laps are absolutely toast. So you would imagine he's going to go quite hard now. Alonso, Alex Lopez, I should say, rather, sitting in 12th position. There's a throwback for you.
Serrano's doing a 1-stop 100% on the soft to the medium.
In clear air for now. Paul Ura, meanwhile, Jose Serrano closing up over the course of this one. It was about 4 or 5 tenths of a second pretty constantly.
Josetti's doing a really good job. He's saving his tyres.
Serrano going to make a move here on his compatriot down the start-finish straight, but he pulls out of the slipstream. But I don't think he's going to be making anything too rash in towards turn 1, and indeed he decides better of it.
I think sometimes you just do that to be like, yeah, I just don't want to get the overrun, but I don't want to get off the gas. You know, I don't want to just sit here in the slipstream. So it would be an opportunity to save a bit of fuel, but fuel's not really going to come into this. So actually, I think burning the fuel is to their credit. So you can see Serrano now starting to push Ura along a little bit. In fact, the last lap was about 3 tenths quicker from Jose Serrano. That could be because of the draft behind, of course. He's a bit quicker on the straights than Ura in front. But do you think they're going to switch? Well, there you go. Ura there, was that wide, or did he just give up the pace? I think he just went a little bit wide because he's still side by side with Serrano. Let's see his fellow countryman have it. Serrano goes up into 1st position. So what do you think happened there, Tom?
I reckon Serrano there just thought, I'm going to go for the move. Ura went a little bit wide. I saw him open the steering. I think that was intentional, personally, from Paul Ura. I reckon he meant to do that, and now he just wants to sit in the wheel tracks of Jose Serrano. The thing is, it's all well and good leading the race, but you're punching a hole in the air for the driver behind you. As you said, fuel shouldn't be too much of a concern, but Ura's taken more life out of his tyres compared to Jose Serrano at this point. So I wonder if he just wants to just dial it back a little bit at this sort of mid-stage of the race.
I think
Ura,
his I think
again, just
I think Paul's tyres are dead
at this point compared to.
But they're going to do 9 laps, surely. It makes sense, this strategy. 9 laps on. To be honest, Josetti might be able to do an extra lap here and do 10 and then 13.
Ura just wants to sit in his wheel tracks and just back off and run behind him for a little bit.
Well, I think for me, it seems these guys are on the one-stop strategy. They've gone quite long now, coping with a penalty there in the midfield. That's going to be just... Oh, Serrano nearly loops the car there, coming through T2. Gets the car...
Karatsa's starting to catch them up here.
Again, but maybe those tyres are now starting to go the other way, Tom. So, and the thing is, these guys have been working together.
Karatsa's coming into this now.
Race, and we are actually seeing investigation. Was there contact here like before? You think? I thought he just let him through.
No, I think he did as well, but I wonder whether it might have been because there was contact perhaps earlier on the lap that we may not have seen. And then he decided to let them through as a result of that, perhaps.
Maybe not so friendly then in Team Spain, but we'll see. Of course, it's between these two drivers currently. Lap 8 of 23. And we see no further action there. The stewards just go, okay, well.
Right, so surely Josetti will do one more lap here, surely, and do 9 laps.
Just give you a really good idea.
And then go on to the mediums for the finishing stim.
Toyota GR010 cars.
Because Lopez hasn't pitted yet, chat, so Lopez is clearly on a one-stop going to softs at the end, because otherwise he would have pitted ages ago. So it looks like the one-stop is the faster way to do it, going medium to soft or soft to medium. Yeah, look, they're not pitting.
No, they don't. So they're going to continue on for as long as they possibly can. Carazza, meanwhile, also doing the same.
And then they'll go to the medium tyres at the end. Carazza's going to go for an undercut and go on to the mediums here. He's going to go for an undercut because the mediums will be quicker now.
So I thought Carazza continued on. It must have been a very late dive.
So yeah, I presume Carazza's going to go mediums now, try and get an undercut over the dead softs.
Compound.
He might make that work, to be fair.
So what presumably will be either be another soft compound. So
oh no, he's going soft.
The mediums at the end, aren't they?
Carazza's going soft.
Right towards the end of this race, it'll be a two-stopper.
So we have to wonder then, has maybe Lopez gone a bit early? Will he go for the mediums in the latter stint because he can't really
going soft
against a medium tyre on
so
a
is Miyazano.
Just a little bit too fast to do so. But anyway, at the front, it's still business as usual. And as you mentioned before we got condemned to the commentary box, as we're calling it now.
Surely,
if you do go over the white line here,
have they reduced the pit lane distance maybe? Because it should be 35 seconds. If they've made it shorter, if it's only like 16, 17 seconds pit lane loss, it might be quicker to go soft. It all depends on how long the pit lane loss is, but you can't tell because they're not giving us the deltas. I need to see how far behind they are from the lead now. How far behind is Carazza now?
He was on the mediums. He was a 130.2.
We need to see how far Carazza is behind.
A 130.2 as well. So they're going to have lost a handful of fist over
Serrano's going now.
Absolutely no surprise there.
Is he going to go mediums or?
Serrano and Pol Ura come in. Pol Ura with a more of a pronounced gap. 1 second it was at the last timing line as well. So that might have cost Pol Ura quite dearly here, and he might have a lot more work to do come the end of this race. Now, is he going to do the same strategy as Carazza and Miyazano and go soft when he comes into the pit lane? Let's wait and see.
I'm interested to see if Serrano's going to go mediums now. Mediums, see? One stop soft to medium. That's got to be the way to do it for me. For me, that's the way to do it.
That's the question. These guys were very slow in the last part of our stint. There is Adriano Carazza.
He's not even got past them.
Carazza's got the pace over Ura on the exit.
Yeah, but he's got to pit again.
No, there's contact between the two as Carazza turns into the space that is occupied by Ura and now almost spins the car. That's a Carazza move that I've ever seen one, Tom.
Yeah, well, Ura was quite entitled to be on the inside.
I think Lopez.
In my opinion, he was coming out of the pit lane.
Lopez has got a pit 2 stop though, chat. Lopez
didn't really exist. The stewards investigating in an instant. The thing
no, Lopez in P1 is in good position, but A Lopez has got a 2 stop. He's not involved with this. I think he's out of this. But Koke Lopez is in very good position. I think going on to softs at the end will be very, very quick in the later stage.
So it's only a matter of when and not if the Brazilian is going to be able to find his way through. Look at the traction he gets on the run up through turn 7, turn 8, and
he'll get him now on the brakes into this chicane, into the hairpin. There's no way he'll be able to. He won't. Will he fight it? I wouldn't fight that too much. I personally wouldn't fight him. He's got to pit again. You're going to lose time yourself.
No room in the in. So defensive driving working quite nicely there for the Spaniards.
This is really clever from Mayura here. I mean, Carazza, as we said before, is now burning that soft tyre. The tyre is best at this stage of the tyre life. Mayura is saying, you know what, you are faster, but I'm not going to let you have it because every moment, every second.
I don't think the 2 stoppers are in this battle, you know. I don't think they can do much. I think they're too far behind.
He's giving a little bit of a bump draft down the straight.
I don't think he meant to do that.
Ura seems to get a bit of a boost from that. So trying to bump draft now catch up to Serrano, is that legal?
No, it's not.
I don't think he meant that. I don't think he meant to bump draft him. He went to pull away, like pull out, but hit him. That wasn't deliberate.
And he's just been deemed no further action for that incident we saw between himself and Ura at the first corner last
Lopez needs to pit again but Koke Lopez needs to go to soft. So Koke in P1 hasn't pitted yet. He's on the mediums. He's going to go soft at the end. So he'll probably pit on lap 12. No, sorry, lap 14. So yeah, Lopez will go to lap 14 and go like, or he might try and do 10 laps because he'll have lower fuel. So he might be able to do 10 laps. So Lopez actually might go 13-10, do medium to soft.
Someone you can never count out of any of these races. We know just how aggressive he is, how consistent he is, and he likes these longer races. It lets him cook for a bit longer. And looking at the inside of Karatsa now, very late. Very late, but Ura's wide. He's following Karatsa through now, and that's going to be side by side. Coming up left, right, and Ura's sideways. He's slow there. So what's that contact? Or did he just get on the gas a bit too hard?
Oh, lap 11.
Shortly, but to me,
what is Lopez? Why is he pitting lap 11?
Down to 8th.
One of our first medium shop runners into
lap
the pit lane,
11, chat.
Lopez, so he's decided to go off of those medium tyres. Is he going to go onto the soft? You would imagine so. It will be a soft rest of his stint as Karatsa now pulls alongside, or tries to, with Jose Serrano, but Serrano's not giving any quarter. Miyazono's going to try and make it 3 wide.
I feel like I don't know what Koke's doing.
Turn 1, Karatsa's got the inside line on Serrano. Miyazono picks his pocket. It's 2 places for the price of 1 for Karatsa and Miyazono. So the supermarket deal working nicely for those 2 drivers.
No, he's gone soft. He's gone to soft, but
down into 6th place.
Surely he can't go to the end on them.
Though, for that last lap
or can he?
We didn't quite catch the end of it, but Miyazono now all over the back of Karatsa, and this is exactly what Ura was trying to do. He was trying to hold up Karatsa. He's done that.
No, Miyazono's got to pit again. Miyazono has to pit again, Chad.
A little bit of contact. He's still there though. He's still in the background. It's not lost too much time.
I think Josetti's got this, to be honest. I think Josetti and I think Paul and Josetti are in the best position here.
When you're with someone on circuit, you're not taking the ideal line. You're not taking the ideal acceleration out of the corner.
Fuel doesn't matter. Yeah, but even then, like Josetti's tyres were dead after 9 laps. He's got to do. There's no way he's getting what? How many laps would he have to do? 12 laps. I don't think they can do that much extra with lower fuel. I don't know.
Here, isn't it? Thinking a little bit
unless he's risking something to try and get in the lead.
That overtaking opportunities are pretty far and few in between here. Critical tyre life there for Guy Barber as he comes into the pit. Cockerman also going a lap longer than Koke Lopez, who we saw last round, who did go onto the soft tyre. Miyazono picks up a 1-second penalty there as well. Alex Lopez, who's also on that soft tyre, pitted early. So Miyazono's going to drive past Karatsa here down the start-finish straight in towards the first corner. The thing is, he's going to serve that penalty later on in the lap. So he needs to have the second sector of his life if he's able to keep that place over.
There's no need to use hard tyres. They won't do that. There'll be no 1 lap on hards. You don't need to use hard tyres.
The question is for how long, and will he not only drop a position to Karatsa, will he come under threat from Serrano and Ura? I'm
pretty sure that Serrano and Paul have got the strategy the way that I would have done it.
I think very cleverly just let him by.
Soft, medium, or medium soft. That's how I think the fastest way is. But I think the pit lane loss is slightly lower. I don't know if it's because of the speed into the pit lane with this car. I think it's only like 20 seconds or something, it looks like. It looks around 20-second loss. So maybe the 2-stop can work if people battle.
Just a little bit of I mean, obviously the contact there did cause Ura to move away, but I don't know about that.
Miyazono serving his penalty then here. Where's he going to drop behind? He drops behind Karatsa, and he does stay ahead of Serrano and Ura there, crucially, as well. So that's interesting.
I think Lopez isn't. Yeah, Lopez will be very quick at the end. However, Lopez pitted too early. I think Lopez has pitted too early. I think Koke should have done an extra lap or 2. I think he should have gone 13 laps medium and then done the 10 on the softs at the end.
So we are now heading towards the halfway stage of this race. Spinelli and Barber come into the pits from their medium tyres, so they are the last of the drivers who hadn't made.
So now they've got a pitch again, and they've got to go soft tyres to the end.
Lopez does. So, because he started from the medium tyre, went early onto the softs, and I think he'll probably go soft again till the end if he can.
The fastest man on track right now is Baptiste Beauvoir. Currently in 5th position, so he went from medium to soft, so he is the leader of that strategy, the medium runners so far. So he's got a lot of pace underneath him right now as Baptiste, and with these guys going as they are, anything can happen here. I mean, we've got Karatsa and
so
leading.
Baptiste is over. I'm confused. How has Baptiste got ahead of Koke?
In the background, the blue
How did Baptiste get ahead of Koke? Because Koke was leading the medium to soft.
0-10 of Baptiste Beauvoir, just lurking, just getting ever closer. This is the sort of performance we tend to see from him. You think, where's Baptiste? And he gets the last 3 laps.
Maybe Baptiste has pitted really early and is going to have to go soft again.
Well, he was 4 tenths of a second quicker than Jura and Serrano last time around, so he's slowly closing.
It could. Do you know what? I wonder if Baptiste has pitted early because he's doing a 2-stop.
Side by side, up ahead in towards turn 10.
No, I think Lopez must be obviously on the 1-stop. I think Baptiste is 2-stopping. So Baptiste has probably pitted earlier and got a massive undercut but needs to pit again. I don't think Baptiste can go to the end on them tyres.
Stop with Ricky. I don't think he can go to the end on these tyres.
Well, he started on the mediums and he went on to the softs early, didn't he? And he's going to try and go to the end on the softs, I would imagine. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, he ain't going to make it to the finish then. So Baptiste is doing a 2-stop. Baptiste is going to go soft at the end. So Koke is the lead driver, not Baptiste. Ignore what they said, because Koke is the lead medium runner from the start.
Never isn't really won anything in these series, but he's always there. He's always at the sharp end, but he's been very aggressive in the past. I think this is a bit more of a mature drive. Although saying that, there is now another investigation.
Yeah, and Lopez. I think Lopez could get close, but the only problem Lopez has got is I think his tyres will be dead on the last lap. He pitted too early, I think. I think Koke pitted a lap too early.
Roach, Spinelli, Barbara, Lopez, and Mediafidi round out your 12 drivers currently still in the race. Carrazza leading through his middle sector. Very difficult to overtake through here, but if you get a good run through this long right-hander, you can maybe think of an opportunity into the hairpin. So Miyazono, not quite close enough on corner exit. We'll have the draft all the way down here, though, but not quite close enough. Now, we're getting a little look at the tyres here, Tom.
Yeah, Carrazza, a little bit more tyre life left underneath. I was just having a look at some stats, actually.
Serrano's tyres look good.
App that we've got here. The last time that we saw Carrazza...
No way is Lopez going to get to the end on them tyres, chat.
It was 2019 in Tokyo.
Lopez ain't making that to the end.
The Nations Cup.
Was it then?
Such a long time ago. So that's what, nearly 4 years, over 4 years, 3 years. I can't do the math on that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So yeah, look, Baptiste's tyres are gone, so Baptiste needs to pit again. So Baptiste
comes to Kimi Miyazono, so he's border chasing Carrazza. He's coming to the pits now. What's he going to
do? So Baptiste is in the pits, like I said, for the second stop. So Baptiste was not the lead driver.
Follows him in, so the gap between Miyazono and Beauvoir is going to tell us.
So now Lopez is 3 seconds behind Serrano on soft tyres, but
let's see what happens then.
Like I've said, I think Lopez's tyres are going to die 2 laps to go, like before the end, and I think Lopez will just get a P3. I think it'll be between Serrano and Pole.
In relation to the rest of the field, Beauvoir is the man we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Pole got back into the lead, but Serrano's tyres are better, I noticed. Serrano's been doing better tyre saving than Pole.
Sequence in relation to him and his strategy. Of course, you would expect them to start slowing down now as those soft tyres come towards the end of their useful shelf life. What's the maths on that there, JB?
So by my calculation, Lopez has gone too early. He's going to run out of tyre life towards the end. Baptiste has played a blinder. He's got a soft tyre now to the end of the race, and I think he's...
Baptiste is too far behind. Baptiste is too far behind.
And now be quick. So we'll keep an eye on him.
No, Baptiste is not in it. Look, Baptiste is about 20 seconds behind now. He's not in it. He's not going to catch that up.
But we'll see. I think Beauvoir will be in the rim towards the end, and Lopez is going to run out far before the end.
Good thing for Miyazono here, at least. One small grub of comfort is that he's some 3 seconds behind Guy Barber. He doesn't have to worry about getting involved in anybody else's battle and being out of sequence. Now, are these two going to come?
I don't even think Baptiste will be top 6. But well, then again, doesn't Bonelli and I think some of these need to pit again. I think some of the midfield still need to pit.
Ahead of Jose Serrano as we come to the timing line. How long is that going to take place though? Because Serrano pulls out of the slipstream, draws alongside, but ducks back into it before the break.
No, I don't think the 2 stoppers are relevant. I think it's between the 3 Spanish at the front. Like Lopez is in a really good position, but
clearly gone wrong there for Baptiste Beauvoir, and we didn't get to see whether that strategy would have proven to be beneficial for Beauvoir, I'm afraid to say. I'd love to see a replay of exactly what happened, but that is devastating news.
That's a classic Beauvoir race.
So
gets it all lined up and then spins.
Lopez is right behind now, but his tyres are not going to last, chat. He's going to lose the tyres in a bit.
Currently between Serrano and Koke Lopez.
So this is how we said. I reckon Lopez might even get past them, or they'll be fighting, but last 3 laps, I can't see Lopez having any grip.
Have to stop again. If I were him, I'd probably stop sooner rather than later and just get a fresh set of tyres on and go, because he's not going to get to the end on that soft compound tyre. Carrazza his front tyre life right now is, well, as you can see, it's got the big warning marker.
Nah,
So,
two-stop just didn't make sense. That's what I said straight away, wasn't it? It's just, it doesn't look logical with the pit lane loss here.
They know each other exceedingly well, let's not forget.
I'm sure they practiced it though.
Last time out in the World Series
What I did notice was that the pit lane loss is a lot less on this car. It was like 20 seconds. So with if they battled a lot, it might have been relevant. But I don't think there's been enough battling.
Another driver quite so well. So I wonder whether
they're not saving fuel. There's no fuel in this race.
The pit at the end of lap 18. Soft tyre, he's
so Lopez is going to go for the move.
Spanish 1, 2, 3 on lap 18 of the grand final. Coque Lopez goes inside Serrano. Oh! And at the same time, big move from Coque Lopez.
Oh no, he just took Serrano out.
No, Serrano, sorry, has been shoved off the course. He's gone, he's spun.
Oh,
so
that's surely a penalty for Lopez.
Whether he meant to or not,
that's going to give Palora the win.
Serrano for missed race, and
Lopez has just took out Josetti.
That's going to cause a little bit of controversy, I think, between the Spanish drivers.
Serrano is going to be seething. There is no other way about it. So under investigation.
What was that by Lopez?
Serrano, that's your top three, or was your top three. Serrano has now dropped down into 4th position, and that has given an advantage here, possibly for Ryota Kokuma. He's now elevated himself up into 3rd position. Just having a look at the tyre life for Kokuma. He has run both comp and of tyre. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the end on this, which, mind you, he's got
that was too much. That was too much. That was not nice on Josetti. The little one's laughing because she wanted to see party. She wanted to see chaos. She's happy now.
He starts slowing down.
Oh, I can't believe Coque did that. I need to see more view of that. I want to see another camera angle, but that looked too much to me. That looked too much. I didn't like that.
I would love to see a replay.
Yeah, I think we need to see another angle of it, don't we, JB? That's the thing.
We just sort of saw Serrano disappear from the frame, but Coque Lopez still.
I feel so bad on Serrano there, because Serrano had the best tyres, chap. Serrano had better tyres. He was in like prime position. Oh no!
To do that on Euro, I think he just outbrakes himself. To be honest with you. He goes into the side. Then this is the second contact. Serrano kind of. I don't know. Did he turn into a gap that was sort of not?
I don't know. Was that a penalty? I don't know. Was that really? Was that Lopez's fault?
So I think the stewards. I'm not sure if that track limits. We'll double check. It's 0.5. It's actually a track limits penalty now. Oh, he's sideways. He's sideways now. So I think maybe now the pressure.
Looks like Lopez is going to take the win. You know, because I don't know.
Very mature race so far. But there's a big home crowd here, and Coque Lopez. No, he knows how to win one of these races. He knows how to win one of these events, and right now he is pulling away from.
No, I think he just lost it on power.
He's going to the end. There's no doubt about that. He's going to just try and chance it, but
I don't think Lopez's tyres are going to make it. This is going to be quite interesting. But Palora's
car, so they deem him
to
be at fault with the incident. I guess you could argue that he did start that chain reaction. 2-second penalty.
2-second penalty for Lopez.
What's that going to be? 3 laps left of racing.
I don't know about. I don't know. I need to see that again. After watching it again, then I wasn't sure.
Lopez on the soft tyre. Oh, this is going to be really, really interesting and close. He's dropped down to 12, hasn't he?
Because they two-stopped. Why do they not understand they two-stopped? One stop was the way.
Of a lifeline. Now, bear in mind, he does not have to stop again.
So behind him, Kokubon did the extra lap, didn't he? So he's on better. So Kokubon's on better tyres than Lopez.
A 121.4 from Ryota Kokubon, a 129.3, a whole 2 seconds faster. And with 4 or 3 and a bit
Paul got
left
track
to run
limits.
at the moment, it's all looking good for the Japanese driver.
Can we see a second Japanese driver becoming the Toyota Gazoo Racing
No,
GT
I think
Cup
Kokubon
champion?
might have this, you
there's
know.
an instant under investigation between Kokubon and Serrano. That's another twist in the tail.
What?
Honestly, they are throwing the kitchen sink at this race. It is absolutely spectacular.
What's happened with Serrano?
3 laps now remaining. And
I don't know what's going on.
Drama. We're struggling to keep up here. Lopez with this 2-second penalty. What's that going to do for him in relation to Jura? I think he'll be okay, but it's going to drop the gap right down. But Kokubon, cue the Jaws music. He's right there.
It is, but Coque Lopez's tyres, they are cooked. They are done.
Oh, Kokubon,
Kokubon's got 1 second, chap.
Come on, leave it out. So there is a penalty for Coque Lopez. Now look in the mirrors. Where is Jura? There he is. So they are going to gain significantly, as they would do the penalty. But now it's Lopez.
Serrano's been out off here, hasn't he?
None of them have to stop again, but Lopez's tyres, I don't think are going to make it to the end.
I think Jura's in the pound seat here, to be honest with you. Once Kokubon serves that penalty, I know he's on the soft tyres. I know they're quicker now, but I don't know. There's not that much longer left of this race to run. Kokoban needs to try and make
surely Kokoban's going to be okay, because Kokoban will get past Polora, and his tyres are way quicker.
Serve that penalty. Let's see what happens. Jura slightly wide out of the final corner. 2 laps then left to run here at the circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya. Kokoban in the slipstream pulls alongside Pol Jura down the start-finish straight. He's going to go through and take second place. Lopez's tyres, though, they are absolutely worn down to the
Lopez
canvas
pitted too early. I said it, didn't I? He pitted too early.
Lopez backing up Ryota Kokupan. Minister of Defence style, Perez style here.
This is going to be. This is going to get feisty. This chat. It's going to get.
Now. His tyres have gone down to 0.
No, Kokuban's one stop, Theo. Kokuban's done the one stop.
If I was him, and I was thinking of
Kokuban didn't 2-stop.
I would just block the hell out of
Kokuban did the extra lap on the mediums over Lopez, and then went on to the soft, so he's got 1 lap fresher than Lopez, I think.
This is a penalty for Kokuban.
So coming through in towards the final couple of corners we go then. Oh, no, sorry, this is turn 4 actually. On the inside, a bit of hip and shoulder there with Serrano.
I don't think there was anything in that.
It was a forceful move, but it's a harsh penalty, I have to say. Let's see what happens. So 1 second penalty here for Kokoban. He's now going to drop back behind Pol Jura. Lopez manages to retain it ahead. Jura's going to go through here on the inside.
Is he
close on the brakes, but Jura with track position. They're side by side into turn 10 for second place. The Spaniards up through. It's once again a Spanish 1-2 to the delight of the crowd here. And now there's going to be just 2 laps left at the end of this one, but Lopez's tyres are absolutely shot to pieces, and he has still got a good few kilometres left of this race to run.
Somehow he's still staying out there. Kokuban the same issue. So now maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all Pol Jura needs now. Isn't that medium compound tyre? His tyres will last to the end. So maybe this is going to be a Spanish race after, but Kokuban's still there, still behind, and still on some sort of pace. Let's watch him through now behind.
This is the problem with Gran Turismo. This is highlighting a problem. Dead tyres on soft dead tyres still give you more grip than like slightly better conditioned mediums.
Running decent times. They're all in the 31s at this point. So it's looking like that medium compounded tyre, also in of its life, just doesn't have the speed either.
It's a tyre model. It's a shit tyre model. Basically what the problem is, completely dead tyres on softs are still pretty quick. That's why these have stayed out. And that's why Lopez has pitted early.
See just how much they're scrabbling for grip on the exit of 5 there. No way to put the power down. They have to be so ginger, so careful through these corners.
They should. The old tyre model was better. Remember when we used to spin? When the cars used to spin with dead tyres? That was better. Now, on dead soft tyres, the car still grips. It just has no grip, right, in terms of like speed through the corners. Polora, go on. Go on, Polora. I want me 1 million. I want 1 million.
And not quite close enough now. But look how close it is now, Tom, as we come onto the final lap.
I think it's going to be down towards turn 1 where the move will be made for Pol Jura if he's able to get good traction through these final couple of corners. Look at how careful they're having to be. Everybody in exactly the same boat despite the difference of compound of tyres. 1 more lap to go then here for the grand final of the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. It's Lopez.
Oh my God, come on.
Kokoban.
Come on.
Sell they run. Oh, you see a change of lead down to the first corner. Lopez knows that. Goes to the defensive line. Forces Jura for the outside line. They all close up on the brakes, but no way through for Jura. Out of turn 2 for now.
Oh, he lost it. He lost it. God. Give me 1 million. Come on, Paul. I want 1 million. Kokuban's going to go. Oh, what the hell?
Side by side they go.
They're all suffering right now. They're all in the same.
This is insane.
It's
Go on, Paul. Go on, Paul.
So far, it's Jura, Kokuban, and Lopez. As they come down to the hairpin for the last time, Kokuban is right there. It's nose to tail, and they're all in the same boat. Jura's a little bit wide coming down here, but still managing to keep the lead as we come through. Kokuban's looking around the outside. There's no way through there, I don't think. That's
oh my God!
This into contention. Only a few more corners left here in the grand final.
This is absolutely spectacular. Winner takes all stakes. 2.
Go on, Paul. Come on.
All battling for the top positions, and whoever
hold the inside. Go to the inside. Go to the inside. No.
3.5.
Lopez on the outside.
Down into
he got hit.
10. Kokoban there.
Oh!
The exit. Lopez sees an opportunity for Jura.
This is insane. This is insane.
3 corners left. Surely Jura's got this one in the bag if he has
Go on,
a clean
Paul.
couple of corners. Down running towards the penultimate turn.
1 million for me. Thank you very much. What a race. What a race.
It's going to be Paul Ura.
One stop was away though, we called it. But without the 2 seconds from Lopez, if Lopez wouldn't have got the 2 seconds, Lopez would have had that. Lopez, too aggressive, lost him the win.
What a race. What a final lap. Absolutely
A shame for Serrano, because Serrano had better tyres, chat. Serrano had been saving his tyres, so he kind of got screwed in that.
Just about holding on to second place from Koke Lopez. And Paul Ura, who must have thought it was over when he had the moment there coming through the first part of the lap, a couple of laps before the end of the race, but managed to claw it back in there. His countryman running over just to say congratulations. Huge cheer here, unsurprisingly, from the home crowds. He went over the start-finish line. Great sportsmanship there. That's one of the best things about our little GT family. Everyone's over there congratulating the winner.
What a race, chat. What a race.
Met by rapturous
Yeah, I got the 1 million off
from
Paul as well.
And I have to say, well deserved.
On one of my accounts, don't know which one.
Paul Ura, the crowd here have gone absolutely wild, and no surprise at all. Spectacular driving from the top three. They were all in pretty much the same boat, despite the difference in tyre compounds there. Right to the very end of that one, it was anybody's guess. 3 drivers, no tail on the final lap.
Good race, though, chat. Good race. We're gonna stream the event tomorrow and Sunday as well. So if you want to watch that in here as well, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. We'll be doing the same thing for the nations and manufacturer. We need to see the replay of the. I want to see the highlights of the overtake that Lopez did. I need to see other angles.
Yeah, it all became a tyre battle straight away. Koke Lopez putting himself into contention nice and early on that medium compound of tyre and putting himself in position. Guy Barber and Baptiste both were close together, and you can see a little bit of almost contact between the two as they're all
He did dive bomb, but
position.
need to see like more
We're not quite
of
sure
it.
what happened to his race. He was looking good at one point for a potential victory, but not quite.
But I don't know why they two-stopped it, chat. I'm so confused by the people that two-stopped.
Acts like he almost isn't
It just
there,
didn't
but,
make
to be
sense,
fair,
did
I
it?
think that was fair by Ura. It's his bit of track there.
Yeah, thank you for smashing that. Let's see if we can get 300 likes in the stream. We've got 500 people. See if we can get the 300 in there.
Ura's race is probably over, but not the case.
No, absolutely not. He managed to come back quite brilliantly. This
Well,
is
that is a very good question. She said, if there's 500 people, why is there not 500 likes? Savagery from the
point, but he would later drop down. So Karatza here versus Takuma Miyazono down the start-finish straight in towards the right-hander of turn 1. Now here is where it got very spicy indeed. This was Lopez trying to pick off more than he could chew. Oh, contact there sent Serrano to the scene of the accident. Just late on the brakes, wasn't he?
It's hard to, I mean, the stewards have sort of gone with that being on Serrano and, on Koke Lopez, but a difficult one. 3 into 1 doesn't go. Here was
It was hard, that, because he lost it on the power, didn't he? But it was a send that put him into that position. It was the dive bomb that put him into the position, but he did make the corner, though. He did make the corner.
And then it was just, can we catch Lopez on these tyres? Here was the last lap.
Yeah, it was Lopez, because when Lopez put the power down, it hit Polora, and Paul then hit into Serrano.
Ultimately, it was Paul Ura who becomes the 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup champion. What an absolutely amazing
when Lopez put the power down, he lost the rear, and that clipped into like Paul, and then Paul then clipped into Serrano.
Paul Ura takes the spoils by just 2.5 tenths from Ryota Kokkonen. Lopez in first.
If you watch it back, Lopez sends it, has a tight angle, puts the power down, loses the rear, and then clips into Paul. Paul then hits Serrano because of putting the power down. But he did make the corner, but it was because of that lunge that caused the oversteer.
GT Cup champion, it's Paul Ura.
Yeah, it was a good race, though. Exciting stuff, that chat.
Now, I know there was no snow on that track, but by the end, on those last few laps, there may as well have been. That was... Are you going to go to sleep tonight with the image of
Honestly, I think without that, I think Serrano might have had that, because Serrano was saving his tyres better.
After you, that was intense.
On the percentage, he had like 4 or 5% more.
I'm still speechless, unbelievable.
But still, credit to Paul, though.
Yeah, I mean, did you know how bad that? Because I think you were thinking your tyres were bad, but you had no idea how bad their tyres were.
Yeah, when I got out of the pits behind Jose, and we had Karatz and Miazona overtaking us,
I do think they get some form of.
They were even faster than us.
I don't know whether they pay, but they do get some form of earnings from these. I've heard.
I was behind Jose, and I felt myself a little bit faster. And then Kokabun and Koke were approaching with
No,
softs,
they do, SDS,
they
do get some form of money, they do.
There was once when I was
Consta told
fourth
us
that
they
I thought
do
I
get,
couldn't win this.
they
So
do
when
earn
I saw
money from
myself
this.
first in the last lap, I just couldn't tell how.
Well, I have to say, like, that entire race, I think everyone, like, there was so much stuff was happening. There were penalties left, right, and centre. It was crazy for everyone. For you
It
guys
did highlight an
watching, I'm
issue
sure,
with
as
the
well.
tyres, though.
But,
You're
like,
right, Mad Max.
So was
the
it
tyre
really,
model.
what was the point you knew you had a
They
shot?
need to fix
like,
that.
What, was it just
That
literally
needs
the last
fixing,
lap?
definitely.
When
It shouldn't be like that.
His tires punctured because of the wear.
Yeah.
I saw he was doing weird lines. I said, okay, he has his tires done.
Yeah.
So it's me and Kokabun. And Kokabun
Again.
also had them out, and me too. And by the end of the lap, I also had. So it was a crazy race. So after the crash and after the penalty, I didn't expect to come back like that. So just speechless, unbelievable.
I feel like also your semi-final really prepared
No, it's not
you
just
for
expensive.
the
They actually
Kokabun
earn money.
onslaught.
So
Like, you
according
kept
to
your cool.
Consta, they
That
do
was some
earn,
intense
like,
stuff. It was
they
going-
earn.
We couldn't keep up.
For making it to here, they do get some reward, as far as I know.
Well, you certainly deserve it. Doesn't he deserve it? That was an amazing race. Let's give it up for Paul Ira, our champion, Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup.
Well, all three drivers will be presented with this special Kinto helmet as well.
Yeah, I believe for making it there, they get a bit on top, like extra for like expenses while they're there as well, like loss of earnings and stuff like that as well. So I do think they earn something for being there.
Breaking the microphones, which is exactly why we've got these ones now, just to make that clear. Unbelievable, though. What an end to the race. What a drive from Paul Ura, Kokabun, and also Koke Lopez. Commiserations, though. Crucially,
Crazy that, though, wasn't it? That was a really enjoyable race to watch, I have to say. I'm glad we live streamed that.
From the Spaniards here today, but I think
we called the strategy as well. We got the strategy straight away
as well. I think you must feel a little bit scared seeing everyone around you has the same flag. Oh no, like they're all going to team up on me. But a great job and an experienced drive from him. But I didn't expect us to have the sort of the tyre fall
even the little one enjoyed that race at the end.
As Julia,
he was
screaming.
he was shouting
it was
at
pretty
the
much
end.
just the same as the repechage race, wasn't it? Everyone just trying to stay in control.
I could hear you through my head.
I think that's what that was, to be honest with you. Spectacular, though, from Paul Ura. I mean, this is his first season in the GT World Series. Comes to Amsterdam, manages to get a win in the Nations Cup. Comes here, manages to win the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Just unbelievable.
By the way, chat, we
form
only
from him,
need
and
7 more
timed it
subscribers
really
to get
well,
to
just
300
right
there.
when it
So if
mattered.
there's 7 more people that haven't subscribed, get subscribed. Catch us tomorrow. We're going to be streaming the
Let's have another look and
manufacturer
see
race
if we
tomorrow.
can piece together exactly
That
what
should
happened
have
in the final.
dynamic
So
weather
Lopez
in it
gets
as
all out of
well.
shape through turn 2. Then you can see Paul Ura going through. That was just such a big moment there for Lopez that just defined the race for him.
I have no idea how he caught that. I mean, you see that man was juggling, and I know in those situations you very rarely save it, so he did a really good job to keep that there. But absolutely over the moon for Paul Ura. It seems it means a lot to man to win in front of your home crowd. Very
dynamic weather
feeling.
could be
the
really
noises guys are making are the reasons we have to go into the soundproof booth.
Yeah, that's why I think they gave Lopez the 2-second penalty though, Andino.
Because Spain, Barcelona,
even though he
course,
made the corner, when he got because he went too deep, when he got on the power, his steering angle was too high. So in that type of car with low tyres, like tyres wearing, he put the power down, and it was just too much, and then it snapped, and then they took that into account, and I kind of think it was a fair penalty. I think he should have got it after watching the dive bomb.
In third position
if he didn't dive, he wouldn't have had that loss of traction. So I think it was a fair pen.
It is Koke Lopez.
Infinity. No idea, Blair's Mafia.
In second place in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup, please welcome from Japan, Ryota Kokabun. And the winner of the 2023 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup, please give it up from Spain, it's Paul Ura!
Thank you for getting us over 300 likes, chat. I really appreciate that.
And now we ask for your respect, please, for the Spanish national anthem.
But that was entertaining. I have to say, that was really fun to watch. What do you say? Was it fun to watch? High five? Ah, she psyched me.
Yeah.
Too quick here.
A huge round of applause for our top 3 finishers in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup for 2023.
No more now, come on.
Now it is time for the podium trophies to be presented. Please welcome, first of all, for the 3rd place trophy, Miguel Fonseca, the CEO of Kinto Europe. And he presents it to our 3rd place finisher, which is Coque Lopez. Huge congratulations to Coque Lopez. Now time for the 2nd place trophy to be presented. And it is presented by the Gran Turismo series producer Kazunori Yamauchi. And of course it is awarded to Ryota Kokuman. Helmet. And now time for the 1st place helmet to be presented to our champion.
I don't know why I laughed when he said that.
By Mr. Miguel Fonseca, the CEO of Kinto Europe, and it is awarded, of course, to
Kind of made me laugh then when he said 1st place helmet to be awarded.
And it's now time for the 1st place trophy to be presented by the Vice Chairman of Toyota Gazoo Racing Europe, Kazuki Nakajima. And it goes to the 2023 Toyota GR GT Cup World Champion from Spain. It's Paul Yura!
Who got the helmet? Okay, you got the helmet. Laughing too much. What? You'd win. Yeah, you'd be the top one.
Well, well, well. Here we were thinking that.
Yeah, there's always a bit of drama in these races, isn't there? Tomorrow should be interesting for the manufacturers. Nordschleife.
No, not at all.
I think it's Nords, isn't it? With dynamic weather.
Microphone in commentary before, Jules, but do you know what? There's a first time for everything. Shouting loudly, that's what I was doing.
You broke it with your voice?
Yeah, I did. I know it's loud and boomy. I didn't realise it was quite so loud and boomy to break the
Well, no, we know your voice is very.
I mean, he did scream down it a bit, didn't he? I even thought that. I had to tell him to be quiet.
Jimmy, I mean, how many notes did you write during that? There was a lot.
I was just screaming. No notes going on, but it's awesome to see an emotional winner in Paul Yura sitting on the podium, cheering up there on the top step. That's what it means to win one of these events here. I think definitely a winner deserving of the crown.
I mean, he was at university this morning. He went to class and then came here.
I staggered him this morning by
We
comparison.
barely dragged ourselves in, and there he is. As you can see, this is only day one. There is so much more racing to come. We have the Manufacturers' Cup tomorrow, and then on Sunday we have the Nations Cup also. And I promise you this, it's going to be just as spicy, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this was the only individual driver race that
Yep.
we had all
See,
weekend. It's now
this,
down to
this
the
is
teams.
where,
We've got
where I
manufacturers
think this
and
was
we've got
better
nations
though,
to do
chap,
format
because
for
that was
this year. We're gonna be
individual.
crowning
It
champions
gets
in
a bit
different
more
way
heated.
this
I
weekend.
think once you have a
so
team
excited.
event,
It's going to be
not.
exciting. Jimmy, final
I don't
thoughts?
think it's as enjoyable. I like the individual
More,
races
well,
more
we can
for
certainly
me.
accommodate
I
that.
think that will be the best one out of all
Thank
three.
you so much. Yeah, big
Because
thank
it's
you to all of our
individual.
international
I like
commentators.
watching the
Everyone
individual
here
ones
in the
more than the
studio,
team
and,
ones.
thank you so
But
much
we'll
for
see tomorrow. It
watching.
might be,
It's
hopefully
been
it'll
a
be good
pleasure.
tomorrow as well.
We will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it should do as well, Atomics. I said that last year. For me, Nations was really good when they were fighting the best drivers versus the best, you know, competing against each other. You had like, you know, we spoke about like Fraga versus Miyazano versus Mikao Ozawa. That's what we want. We want individuals taking on the best individuals, not team events. Yeah, he just lost it and clipped into pole there a bit. It's unfortunate for Serrano, that. Surely they'll go back to individual next year. Has to, because it's just not as entertaining to watch as a team event. Let's see. Right, let's pause that before it goes on to anything else, and we'll put. Right, chat. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good time there, chat. So, yeah, that was fun. How many likes did we end up on, by the way? Let's have a little look. We 316 likes, chat. So thank you to all them people that smashed that like button. But yeah, no racing today. Just a nice chilled out watch of that, and I really enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. Really good racing. It was pretty entertaining. So hopefully you lot enjoyed it. What?
I can take you out.
We'll see. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna go and get something to eat. I'm starving, chat. I'm gonna get something to eat, get a drink, and we will be live tomorrow for. We've already done a stream of racing today, Beat. So we streamed for 3 hours this morning. So we did 3 hours of racing this morning. That's just 3 hours of just watching the. We wanted to watch that. We're gonna do the same tomorrow. We're gonna watch the. What you call it? The manufacturer tomorrow. So I don't know what time it starts. Does anyone know what time it starts tomorrow for the manufacturer's race? I'm not sure what time it is. I think it's 3 o'clock. Does anyone know? UK time 3? I think it might be 3 o'clock UK time for the manufacturers. Is it? It's the same time as today? Are you sure? Let me have a little look. I'm pretty sure it's 3 p.m. Let me have a little look though. I'll look on my phone and see what time the stream's scheduled for. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look when that's set up, scheduled for. Ah, SDS, 17 months of... No, we're not reading that out. It's not Pio's birthday. Pio lied about his birthday the other week. I appreciate the 17 months at high tier, SDS, you legend. Spam that legend out there for SDS, chat. Just seeing when. Right. Scheduled English. Let's see when that's scheduled for. I'll just double check before I. Oh, oh yeah, it is. It is 6 o'clock. So same time tomorrow, chat. So same time tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. You're right. You were correct. 6 p.m. tomorrow night, chat. We'll start probably a bit earlier, do some dailies. So we'll do some dailies before it, and then we'll go and start watching that. So if you want to see us do some racing at Grand Valley or something like that, we'll do that, and then we'll jump in and watch the manufacturer race. So hopefully see you then. It should be fun. Have a great night, whatever you're doing, chat. We've just finished, Jimmy. We just finished watching the Toyota Cup race. I recommend you watch it. It was really, really entertaining. So rewatch the races because it's definitely worth watching them again, Jimmy. They were brilliant. But I'm calling it a night now. We've just been watching that for 3 hours. So yeah, just as we're ending now. But I'm going to be live watching the manufacturers tomorrow. We'll be live before it starts. So hopefully catch you all tomorrow for more action from the World Finals. And also we'll do some racing around Grand Valley maybe. So hope you have a great night. Enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the night, chat. I will see you all tomorrow for more content. Get subscribed, hit the like button. It all helps me out. And yeah, take care, everyone. Thank you for the super chats and the gifted and stuff during this stream as well. I'll see you later, everyone, for more racing. Have a great one, chat. Bye.
you